Hey there, Saki here from Saki Tech, and in today's video I'll be sharing over 250 plus tips, tricks, hidden features, and basically a full and complete tutorial for your Samsung Galaxy Note 10 Plus and the Note 10. The Note 10 is one of the most advanced smartphones in the world with deep and rich features, and I want to make sure you gain complete mastery of this titan. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off with some awesome tips to customize your phone and then slowly dive in deeper and deeper to reveal advanced tips and hidden features that will blow you away. We will also talk about security, performance optimization, a complete in-depth S Pen tutorial, and many Note 10 exclusive features such as the secure folder, using the Note 10 as a desktop PC, and I'll have some bonus sections at the end revealing exclusive Note 10 apps that will take the Note 10 on a whole other level. And of course, you'll find a list of all topics time-coded down in the description box below for easy navigation. So let's dive in and discover your smartphone. Right, so the very first thing I want you guys to do is to give your phone a proper name. So what you want to do is you want to go into the settings right over here and then go all the way down, tap on About Phone, and then from here, this is the current name of your phone. When you try to pair your phone with other devices, this is the name that's going to show up. So let's make it a little bit more personalizable. So click on Edit and give it a brand new name. So in my case, I'll give it Saki 10 Plus. So I know that this is the Samsung Galaxy Note 10 Plus for myself. Very useful when pairing your phone with other devices, all right? So the next thing I want you guys to do has to do with your battery. So as you can see on the top, you have a battery bar, but you do not have a battery meter. You cannot see exactly what level your battery is just by glancing on the top. Now, if you pull this down, you'll see that. But what I want you to do is pull this down and then tap on this button, the three dots over there, and then tap on status bar. And from here, you're able to show the battery percentage meter right on the actual status bar without having to pull down the notifications panel. So that's very convenient. Now, one thing that is brand new on the Samsung Galaxy Note 10 Plus is the floating button on the lock screen. So let me show you what I'm talking about. So this is assuming that you have the fingerprints enabled. So I'm going to go to the lock screen real quick, and then I'm going to double tap on the screen to wake it up. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to unlock the screen, but I'm not going to let go of my finger. So let's do that real quick. I'm going to unlock, but keep holding. When you do that, you get access to this floating button from where you can access two apps of your choosing, such as the calculator app or the Chrome browser. Let me show you that to you one more time. Lock the screen, all right? Double tap on the screen, press and hold, and then you get these two apps. Now, to customize this, you go to Settings, you go to the lock screen, then you scroll down and you go into the app shortcuts, and you want to make sure that this normally is what you're going to see by default, the button corners, but you want to enable the floating button, and then from there you can also change the two apps I just showed you guys. So calculator can turn into, for example, the clock, and this I'm going to do just to show you guys Galaxy Store. So now when I lock the screen, okay, and if I double tap on the screen, okay, and if I go inside and keep it pressed down, I have access to the clock over here or the Galaxy Store, okay? Just make sure you keep your finger on the actual screen and you can launch them from here immediately. Next, I want to talk about a quick and amazing tip to customize your Samsung Galaxy Note 10 Plus or your Note 10. So what I'm talking about is video wallpapers. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So I'm going to lock my screen real quick. I'm going to lock it right now. I'm going to double tap and go to the lock screen. And as you can see, we have a gorgeous live wallpaper in the background that I can watch completely from start to finish. Absolutely gorgeous. Now the funny thing is with this one, you can log right in, okay? And again, if I lock the screen and if I double tap the screen, it's going to play and the screen will turn off automatically within a couple of seconds, which is the case. But if you do want to watch the entire wallpaper, you just press and hold and it's going to loop through until you let this go, okay? So let's see how to get these wallpapers. So basically you pinch the screen, you go into the wallpapers, and real quick, let me show you a couple more over here before I show you exactly how to get them. but this is just another example of a live wallpaper, a video wallpaper. So if I set this as a wallpaper, and if I go to lock my screen and double tap on the screen, that's another gorgeous nature wallpaper right there. Okay, so let's go inside. So basically, like I said, you pinch the screen, you come to this wallpaper area, and then all you want to do is you want to tap on search and then simply type in video, okay? Space wallpaper, and then click on search, and then you're gonna get all these gorgeous video wallpapers. Some of them, of course, are not gonna be free, but some of them are gonna be free. For example, this is free here, free. Take a look at this one right over here. That's a gorgeous video wallpaper. You can even preview it before you actually download it. So that's great. Let me download that and take a look at it in a second. But basically that's it. So as you browse the wallpapers, just look at the bottom right of each photo. It will say video if it is in fact a video wallpaper. So this is in fact a great way to customize your Samsung Galaxy Note 10. Now let's go over here to view all, and let's tap on this one that I just downloaded. Now before you apply this thing, it's going to give you a preview, but then you can set this as a wallpaper, and again you lock the screen, boom boom, double tap, you go right inside. And of course there's absolutely no lag as you do this, and it looks gorgeous on your screen. Some people are going to be concerned if it's going to kill your battery. It might eat up a little bit battery life, but nothing dramatic. One thing I do like to do is if I go to the settings over here, and if I go into biometrics and security, and go into my fingerprints, let me just dump in my password here. As you can see, I have 3 fingers registered. I got fingerprint 1, 2, 3. You want to make sure you rename these so it makes more sense. So if I want to rename the fingerprint 1, first what I want to do is I want to check edit fingerprint. So I'm going to do that, press. So that's fingerprint 1, okay? So I'm going to go over here and I'm going to erase that name and say left index, okay? So now I know exactly what that one is. Now fingerprint 2, I want to check edit fingerprints. You tap on this one. Now this one is fingerprint 2. So I'm going to go over here, rename this to left thumb, alrighty? So that's a great option to have as well in regards to your fingerprints. Couple other things you can do with the fingerprints. If you go back over here, you go to biometric preferences, and then you can actually enable the screen transition effect. Now if I disable this and if I go to the home, the lock screen real quick, boom boom, I will not see a transition effect. Okay, it goes right in, and that feels faster. If you have this one, you are going to see a slight effect as I log into my smartphone. So you may have seen that or not on the camera, but I saw a slight transition effect. So that's for the fingerprints right there. Let's move on to the next tactic. And of course, one new thing with the Samsung Galaxy Note 10 Plus. Now, when you pull this down once, you'll get 2 buttons here. You get the power button and the settings button. When you pull it down one more time, you get 4 buttons, you know, the search button, power, settings, and of course the 3 dots button that I'm going to talk about in a second as well. But what I do want to focus here is a quick way to turn off your phone is simply pull this down and tap on this power button, which actually activates the power menu from where you can power off, restart, activate the emergency mode, or go into the side key settings. Now I'm going to be talking about the side key in a second. That's the side key right here. Remember, the Samsung Galaxy Note 10 Plus does not have a power button on this side. It's only going to have the side key that is actually customizable and doubles up as the Bixby/power button. We will talk about that in a second. What I do want to talk about next is actually setting up your phone's home screen so it works for you. Now, the one thing that I don't like with this phone when you first get it, let me just disable the settings so you can see what I'm talking about. So basically, if you swipe up, you get the apps. If you swipe down, you get the apps. What you can do is you can customize these interactions to access other things. So by default, this is the way the phone is set up. What you want to do is you want to pinch the screen, go into home screen settings, and you want to enable swipe down for notification panel. So when you enable this, and when you go back home, you can pull the notifications panel down by swiping on the screen towards the bottom, okay? And then when you do swipe up, you can go into your app drawer. Now, some people like to have the app drawer button at the bottom over here, at the bottom row. If you want that button, again, you want to pinch the screen, go to home screen settings, and simply enable the apps button. So if you enable this apps button, go back home. Now you've got an apps button right over here that takes you into the actual app drawer instead of swiping up. Now I think that is redundant, and I do like to have an extra app sitting right over here. So what I like to do is disable the apps button. So go to the settings, disable the apps button, go back home, and then now you have an extra space here for another app. Let me just for now grab this guy and dump it right here, so you can have 5 applications here. Now just in case you're only able to add 4 apps at the bottom row, I do want to let you know you can change the grid of the phone. So if you pinch the screen, you go to home screen settings. On the top you've got the home screen grid. So when you tap this one, you can have 4 by 5, you can have 4 by 6, you can have 5 by 5, which is what I prefer, and you can also have 5 by 6, okay? So the higher the combination, the more apps you can have on your screen. Now this is a very large screen, so 5 by 6 is not bad, but I like to go with 5 by 5, okay? So that's what it's going to look like, and I have 5 apps in each row, and of course 5 apps in each column, all right? Now the other thing I want to talk about has to do with your lock screen. So basically, let me lock the phone real quick. So I'm going to lock the phone. When you single tap, it gives you your always on display. When you double tap, it wakes up the actual screen. And on the screen, there's a lot of things you can actually customize. Now the first thing I do want to talk about is the face widgets, all right? So go to the settings real quick, and then go into the lock screen. And then from here, go into the face widgets right over here. You tap on this one. And then from here, just enable all these, just in case you can see what I'm talking about. So these are the face widgets. They can also be reordered, but for now, let me show you what they are. So let me lock the screen, double tap on the screen. That's the lock screen, and now you have access to this face widget. So you can actually control your music if there's a music playing in the background, and you can swipe over to see your calendar entries. Then you want to swipe over one more time. You're going to see all your alarms in the next 7 days. And if you swipe over one more time, you can see the weather and the location, all right? So you can swipe through these face widgets as you please. So that's the face widgets you can enable on your screen. So like I said, you can enable or disable these as you please, okay? Now if you tap on reorder, you can change the actual order. So you can see today's schedule first when you swipe over, music next, alarm next, weather next, Bixby routines next. It's gonna be up to you. All right, so let's move on to the next tactic. All right, so let's go into the settings real quick. I want to talk about the navigation bar that's at the bottom over here. So what you want to do is you want to go into your display, and then what you want to do is you want to go into the navigation bar that is right over here. You tap on this, and these are navigation bar customization tactics. So first and foremost, when you first buy the phone, this is the button order that you have. The back key, home key, recents key, that's the recents key, all right? You can swap the back and the recents key by tapping this button. Now the back key is right here, as you can see, which in my opinion is more useful, and the recents key comes right over here. So that's great. Now the other thing you can do is you can go for full screen gestures. When you go for full screen gestures, the keys, the physical keys here actually disappear. So when you go over here, what you want to do is you can use this as the back key, okay? This swipe up to go back, swipe up in the middle to go home, swipe up on the right to bring up the recents menu. So you have that option. If you like more immersion, you can do this as well. Now, if I go to navigation bar, and if I tap on this one here, the gesture hints, you see these 3 lines over here? You may or may not like them. You can just disable them, and you can just memorize what's happening over here, okay? So I can do the same thing without the actual gesture hints. Now, if you are using the S Pen to make drawings on your phone and you're doing precise drawings on the edges of your phone, you want to enable this as well. So the S Pen doesn't accidentally just make you go home or make you go into the recents while you're actually drawing. Now, if you're going to be using your S Pen to navigate your smartphone, then I would keep this disabled. Now, I like it this way right here with the buttons, so I'm going to keep it just like that. With this option, you don't have to worry about the S Pen, but with the full screen gestures, you do have to worry about the S Pen accidentally bringing you out of the application in which you're making a drawing, all right? So just be careful with that. All right, so let's move on to the next tactic. Now, real quick, I'm going to show you one more thing. Here we have a night mode, and I'm sure a lot of people are familiar with the night mode. This enables you to go into the night mode. It reduces eye strain, saves some battery. But what you can also do with the night mode is you can go inside and you can schedule it as needed. So you can tap on this and then you can choose sunset to sunrise, which is going to do everything for you automatically. So the night mode will be enabled on sunset and disabled on sunrise. Or you can create a custom schedule for this night mode to actually start. Now remember, when you do night mode, most of the system apps turn black and white. So you get black and white right here. You get black and white on the Google bar. If I go into my message, it's going to be black and white as well. So we can go right back out. Even if I go to the calculator right over here, it's going to be black and white, okay? And of course, you can also disable or enable the night mode from the notifications panel here, which also turns black and white. So let's look for the night mode option. It's right here. Boom, it's gone. Now, by the way, in the notifications panel, you can press and hold on any one of these settings to go into the details of that particular setting. So I can press and hold, and boom, it takes me into the details of that night mode. So let me just disable that for now. I will fix it later. But again, like I said, notifications panel, if you press and hold on any one of these options, boom, takes you directly into the actual detailed settings for that quick toggle that's on the top. If you tap on text, it gives you a quick expansion, okay? So if I press and hold on the actual button, full settings, if I tap on the text, you get a quick expansion with for quick modifications. For example, if I tap on flashlight here, I'm able to turn that on and change the brightness intensity if I so desire. So just keep that in mind as well. Just little things that makes these phones amazing. Now, one of my favorite settings on the smartphones is the one-handed mode. The phone is large, okay? It's a 6.8-inch display. It's gonna be very hard to use with one hand. So what you wanna do is you wanna go to the settings, all right? You want to go into the advanced features, and then you want to look for motions and gestures. You tap on that, and here what we have is we have the one-handed mode. Just enable this first, and then go inside and choose the button option. Now let me enable the button option real quick. So when you have the gestures enabled, the button option is grayed out. So let me just show you how to fix that if you are in this scenario as well. Go to display, go into the navigation bar, and go back to the button, navigation button setting, okay? Now let's go back to advanced settings right over here, go into motions and gestures, and go into one-handed mode. Now I'm gonna choose the button option. Now when you triple tap the home button, you are able to enable the one-handed mode. You can left justify this, as you can see, or right justify this. And by doing so, you're able to use the entire phone with only your thumb. That's absolutely fantastic if you are in a need to use the phone with one hand. Again, I can go home, I can launch my text message, I can go inside the message right over here, I can tap and I can use all the keyboard. Go back home, bring down the panel, and that's fantastic. When you're done with all this, you tap on the black area, boom, goes right back to maximum mode. Beautiful options. Now the next thing has to do with video and audio. Now when you're watching video and listening to audio using the stereo speakers, you want to be able to get the best possible sound quality. So there's two settings you have to tweak immediately. First, go to settings, go to advanced features, go all the way down and make sure video enhancer is enabled. So when I go in here, video enhancer kicks in when you launch certain applications. Most applications that you download from the Play Store, such as Hulu, Netflix, Prime Video, is going to be available. Now when you enable this, your picture simply becomes brighter with more vivid colors. I mean your videos. So they're simply going to look much better. And of course, if you don't want it, you can simply disable it. You can see the difference. Just launch a YouTube video, enable this, and then disable this. Watch both of them and see which one you like. So that's the video enhancer for maximum satisfaction in video watching. But when you go back, you want to go into the sounds and vibration. Now we're going to fix our sound. Go all the way down, go to advanced sound settings, and of course the Note 10 Plus comes with Dolby Atmos. Tap on sound quality and effects, go into Dolby Atmos and make sure Dolby Atmos is enabled, and you can put this to be auto, so it auto picks between movies, music, and voice. Now I was watching a movie earlier, so I put it on movie. It basically is going to give you enhanced audio playback with Dolby Atmos surround sound. And of course, you want to make sure you enable the same thing for Dolby Atmos for gaming. So when you're actually gaming, you get beautiful, realistic sound. And real quick, people who do care about equalizers, you can tap on this one, pick the option that you want, or go to custom and make a modification to your equalizer as you please. All right, again, only for people that care about equalizers. Let's move on to the next tactic. Now, I did mention the side key in the beginning of the video, so we do have a side key here. If you press the side key, which is right here, it turns off the phone. If you press it again, it goes to the lock screen, okay? And then I log in right over here. Now, you can customize the side key. Remember, if you tap on this button here, you have the option to go into side key settings from here, or you can go to the settings, go into advanced features, and then go into the side key from this to reveal the same menu. Now with a double press, you can quick launch the camera, or you can open Bixby, or you can open any app that you want. So for example, if I choose calculator, now when I double tap this guy, double tap, it's going to launch my calculator application. Okay, so remember, you do have the option to customize this key, and with the press and hold, you can either wake up Bixby or you can activate power off menu. So when you want to actually turn off your phone, you want to press and hold this guy. It brings up the power off menu. Oh, press and hold, and from here you can do whatever you please. All right, so that's great as well. Now notice when you press and hold this one, the power off menu is all white. When you go over here and tap on this power button, it's going to be more transparent black. All right, so just a little different that I thought was interesting. Now there's a couple more things you can do with that power key, by the way, so let me show you what that is. So when you go into your phone application, when you tap on this three dots button here, you want to go to the settings, and then from here you want to go into answering and ending calls. Now this is a smartphone, so many times we use it for calling people and taking calls from people. So tap on this one, and basically you can actually use the side key to end calls. So if somebody calls you and you're done with talking to them, you can press this button to end the actual call. Additionally, you can use the volume up to answer an incoming call. So if somebody calls you right now, instead of swiping the green button, you can press the volume up to take the phone call, to accept the phone call. So make sure, if you like these options, these hardware buttons to take and end a phone call, enable these as well. All right, so let's move on to the next tactic. Now I do want to talk about the edge panels really quickly. So if I go over here, okay, these are the edge panels. What I want you guys to do is understand that this is fully customizable. By the way, if you tap this button here, you get quick access to all your edge panels. Now when you go into the settings, okay, from here you can add or remove even more edge panels, as you can see. Okay, so I can add so many more. When I go home and pull this, now I got so many more edge panels that I can swipe through. Okay, you can tap on settings over here and you have access to all these. You can customize them. You can even turn off the edge screen if you don't want it. It's gone. Okay, but if you enable it, it's going to sit right over here. Of course, you can even modify where this edge panel sits. So you can tap on this button here. You can say edge panel handle, and you can take this panel and you can put it on the other side by tapping the right button. Now it's right over here. So now it's going to be accessible from this side. You can change the color of the actual handle. So when I go back home, now my edge panel handle is right over here. Okay, so many ways to customize this. But the best thing is you can tap on this button, go into Galaxy Store, and then download additional edge panels. Once you download them, they'll show up right over here in the settings right here. Okay, now soft key edge is something you're not going to have. You may have seen me using it. If you want the soft key edge panel, you go to the store, you just search for it, and you download it. All right, once you grab it, you're going to have this beautiful option right over here that allows you to take a screenshot right over here, or even if you want, you can lock the screen using software keys, okay, which is what I prefer to have. So those are the edge panels, and of course we also have edge lighting. Now we don't have a notification LED light on the smartphone, so you want to go to the settings again, and you want to go into display, and from here you want to go into edge screen, and this is what we were earlier. We were in this menu right over here. Okay, you can access that menu from here as well, but you want to go to edge lighting, And you want to make sure that you enable edge lighting when you get a notification like a text message or a phone call. The edges of the phone actually glow, and those glows, as you can see, are fully customizable. So I can have all these. Let me just change the color real quick. Let's do red so you can, or green. Let's do the width. I'm going to make this very thick so you can see it easier. So you can do all these things, all right? You can also change the transparency to high or low. So effects are these. So I have the bubble effect, the multicolor effect, so when somebody calls me or sends me a text message, or the glow effect, all right? Or you can do the glitter effect. Again, these are the notifications we have on this phone because we don't have the LED light on the top. So make sure you customize these as you please. I prefer to have the basic option right over here. Click done. Remember, that's the edge lighting style. You can also go in here and customize what apps you want to actually use the edge lighting for. So I can enable WhatsApp for it. I can enable the calendar for it. So for all these apps that I've enabled, the edge lighting is going to go into effect, or I can enable all of them, all right? But I don't like that. I like to customize my stuff, so I'm going to keep it like that for now. All right, let's move on to the next tactic. Now I do want to talk about the always on display really quickly. So if I go into my lock screen, when I lock the phone, turn it off, you'll see that if I tap on the screen, you'll see an always on display that gives you quick information and some of your notifications. So this thing is fully customizable as well. So what you want to do is you want to go to the settings, and then you want to go into the lock screen. And from here, what you want to do is you want to go into the clock style. Now, first and foremost, here's the always on display. You can disable or enable that as you please. When you enable the always on display, you tap on this, and what you can do is you can enable the tap to show option, which is what I have, or you can have the show always option. If I have this one, and if I lock the screen, it's just going to appear automatically, as you can see, and it's going to remain there, but it is going to eat some battery life. Not too much, but it's going to eat some battery life. So I like to use it as tap to show. So it is not there, but if I want to see it, I can tap the screen, boom, shows right up. So that's the always on display. But when you want to change it, you want to go to the clock style, and from here you want to tap on always on display, and then you quickly get access to all these various always on displays that you can show off in your lock screen. So I just picked a new one. So now when I tap to show, boom, I'll see the new styling that I chose. So let's go back here real quick. Clock style, always on display, and then go to the color. You can also change the colors for everything. Okay, so I can pick a different color, as you can see. And then again, if I go to the lock screen, tap to show, it's going to show up right there. Okay, so that's all great stuff. Again, you can also tap on clock style and also change the lock screen's clock style as well. So from here, I can pick something like this and also change the color to red. Click done. Now when I go to the lock screen, I will be able to see a beautiful clock right over here the way I want it. Remember also we have the face widgets, all right? So that's all fantastic. Now one more thing I'd like to add to my lock screen is if I go to the settings over here and go into lock screen, I like to add a quick contact information, but I use it as a signature. So what I do is I type in Saki Tech, I click done. When I go to the lock screen now, you'll see that I'll be able to put a little Saki Tech at the bottom of date, which is great because you can put a quote if you want, or anything that motivates you or inspires you. You can put a little quote out there. And also realize that I made a typo, so it's going to be Saki Tech. All right. And one final thing with the lock screen over here is you can actually change the app shortcuts that you see on the lock screen on the corner. So if I go here again, lock screen, you have access to the phone here that you can launch like this, okay? Or the camera that you can launch like this. So if you want, you can modify these two buttons. So again, if you're in the app shortcuts under lock screen, what you want to do is you want to tap on left shortcut, change it to any other app. As you can see, calculator, right shortcut, you can change it to another app like Chrome, and then you have calculator and Chrome on the lock screen. The very first thing I do want to show you guys has to do with your actual keyboard, because it's something we use all the time. So let me just launch something over here. Let me just launch the Chrome browser, And then basically when you tap over here, the keyboard is going to pop up. And when the keyboard pops up, on the top you do have a strip over here atop the actual keyboard, the keys, and you have a button here that says T. You can tap on this and it changes your options, okay? Now you want to tap this until you see the settings option for the actual keyboard. So you want to tap on that keyboard options, and the very first thing I do want you guys to see is go into the style and layout option. When you tap on this one, you're able to fully customize your keyboard as you please. Now the very first thing that I did was I like to use the dark theme for my actual keyboard at all times. So you can actually switch between light and dark as you please. So let me just keep it light for now, just for this video. So that's great. You got these two options right over here. The other thing that I do have is the high contrast keyboard. When you enable this, when you go inside, you do have the option to pick between 4 different color combinations, and this is going to be a high contrast keyboard for people looking for high contrast, or honestly just people looking for something a little bit cooler than the stock keyboard. So you can disable this as you please. The next thing has to do with your camera. So when you launch the camera, in the middle you do have a shutter button. Now sometimes it's not very convenient to have this button right over here. It might be hard to reach based on how you're holding your camera. So all you want to do is you want to grab this. You can put it anywhere on the screen that you want and take a photo. Boom, boom. All right. So you can have this over here in the corner, on this corner, wherever you want. When you're done, you just grab it and put it back where it belongs, and you're good to go. Let's move on to the next tactic. All right, next I want to talk about how to set up a video wallpaper on your lock screen. So you can set any video that you've taken as a wallpaper on your lock screen. So basically, let me go to my gallery, and over here I have a beautiful video, a nature video that I took myself. If I play the video, you can see it's gorgeous. Now, what you want to do is simply choose the video you want to set as a wallpaper. Tap on the 3 dots on the corner and tap on Set as Wallpaper. You can pick a 15-second clip of the entire video to set as a wallpaper. You can click Edit over here under the preview screen and pick the portion you want to set as a wallpaper. Could be a photo of nature, a video of nature, a video of your baby, whatever. Then you click Done. It saves the video, that little portion that you want. And then once everything is set up, you tap on Set as Wallpaper, okay? And then when you go to your lock screen, now you've got a gorgeous video wallpaper that you took yourself. That's beautiful. That could be anything you want, your pet, your child, your car, a walk in the nature, whatever. All right, let's move on. Now the next tactic has to do with notifications. So as you know, we don't have an LED notification on these smartphones, but there is a way to enable a different kind of notification. So what you want to do is you want to go to the settings, then you want to go into accessibility features right over here at the bottom. You tap on it, and from here go into advanced settings, all right? And at the bottom we have the flash notification option. Now when you tap on this one, it actually gives you 2 options. Now first one, a lot of people know about this already. Your flash in the back actually flashes when you get a text or whatever. But the other one is the screen flash option. The entire screen flashes when you get a text message or a call or any other notification. So I'm going to send myself a text message from my other phone. So I'm just going to say hi. And as you can see, the screen is actually going to flash. The screen just flashed up, which was great. You also get all the other notifications, but the screen flash option is there as well. Let me just kill that one and disable that for now. Okay, so just one more thing that you guys can use if you want. The other option also is right here. Because we don't have an LED notification, you do have the option to get the notification reminders. So instead of the LED blinking to let you know that you're getting a notification, you just enable notification reminders. So you enable this, you go inside, and then you pick how you want them to actually work. So vibrate when sound plays, you can do that as well if you want, enable vibration. And then remind me every whatever minute, every 5 minutes for the selected applications or for missed calls and messages. So you can do this for any application that you want. You can fully customize it. So if you had it on right over here, let's say you got a message but you missed it, the notification was missed because there's no LED blinking, you come back and after 5 minutes it's going to play the sound again and vibrate the phone again, so you know that you have a notification in fact pending. All right, so that's another option that we have. Let's move on and talk about more hidden tactics. The next thing I want to talk about has to do with precision cutting, copying, and pasting. So let me go to the web browser here, and I'm going to type something incorrectly. And again, this is just an example, so don't take this literally. I'm just using this as an example. But you can use this option to modify other things that are more complicated. So again, tap on this button, make sure the menu strip comes up, then tap on the three dots on the side and go for the text editing function. Here you basically have a complete controller. You can move exactly where you want, okay? You can X exactly what you want, and also you can select precisely what you need. So if I tap on the select button, it starts the selection process. I can select those two dots or those three O's, and I can delete them, as you can see. So that's precision, copy, and paste. Again, if you tap on this one, I can go like this, all right? And I can cut that portion, come back here, and paste it right there, okay? All right, so that was precision, cut, copy, paste, and select, okay? Now, the S Pen obviously makes these things easy, but I want you guys to know all the available options out there. Let's move on to the next tactic. Now, over here, when you press and hold this button, if you have it configured properly, it brings up this menu, or if you pull this down and press on the power button, it brings up the power off menu. Now there's one extra thing you can add to this menu if you wanted to. What you want to do is you want to go to the settings, you want to go into the actual lock screen, and then from here you want to go into secure lock settings. It's going to ask you to put in your PIN number. You do that. At the bottom you have the show lockdown option. When you enable this, and if you press on that button again, now you have the lockdown mode. Now what the lockdown mode allows you to do is when you turn off the phone using the lockdown mode, right over here, okay, what's going to happen is it's going to turn off the screen. It's going to turn off the screen, but you're not going to be able to use biometric options to actually log back in or anything else. You have to put your actual PIN number. This is great for extra security. So even when you're sleeping, somebody can't just grab your hand and put it up there to unlock the phone, okay? So you want to enable the lockdown mode right over here and maybe do the lockdown mode before you go to sleep, all right? So that only allows anybody to log in with the PIN number, no workaround. Now let's move on and talk about the actual phone. So I'm going to go to the settings on the top in my dialer, tap on settings, and what you can do is you can enable call pop-up, okay? Now without a call pop-up, let me show you what happens. I'm going to call myself right now, okay? And I'm going to accept the call. There we have it. When I click answer, it is going to expand and fill the whole screen, okay? Now, what if you don't want that? What if you just want the call to remain on the top? That's when you enable call pop-up, all right? Again, go to these settings, go to settings, boom, call pop-up. Now, if I go into any application and somebody gives me a call, watch what happens. So let's say I'm doing something over here, reading the news or whatever, and I get a call. I'm going to accept the call to take it for a second. But as you can see, the call stays on the actual top, okay? And if you want, you can expand it, but it will stay right there. I did end the call. But you have that option, all right? Let's move on and talk about the next tactic. Now, the next thing I want to talk about has to do with the soft key edge functionality. When I pull this in, I have this option. People have been asking me how I got it over here. Amazing, because you can take a screen capture. You can use the recents button right from here if you wanted to. You can also lock the screen without pressing the button, okay? Double tap, boom, boom, go right in. But you can do it right from here if you wanna. And of course, you can take a screenshot, which is very convenient to have. So basically, all you wanna do is you wanna go to your settings, you wanna go into display, you wanna go into the actual edge screen, tap on edge panels, tap on the top over here, and go to the Galaxy Store and search for soft key edge. You'll most likely see it on the third column over here. So you just tap and install that. That's it. You tap on it and you install it, all right? Once you do that, you go back into those edge settings I just showed you guys, display, edge screen, edge panels, soft key edge, make sure it's enabled. And soft key edge is amazing because you can take a screen capture, you can use the recents button right from here if you wanted to. You can also lock the screen without pressing the button, okay? Double tap, boom, boom, go right in. But you can do it right from here if you wanna. And of course, you can take a screenshot, which is very convenient to have. Next hidden feature has to do with your S Pen. So let me show you what I'm talking about. So normally when you launch a browser or your text messages or anything where you have to type something, the keyboard just pops up automatically and you can type anything that you want. Now, if you have the S Pen outside of your phone, there's a different way to get this done as well, to write on the actual keyboard using the S Pen. So here's my S Pen right here. I'm going to go to my messages, all right? I'm going to tap on the text area. And as you can see, instead of giving me the keyboard, it actually gave me a text area automatically into which I can write using my actual S Pen. So that is by default. And this has such accurate handwriting detection that it's amazing. So I can write nasty handwriting and it's going to convert that immediately to actual text, all right? Let me just show you one more time. Let me write very badly. So how are you? Take a look at that nasty writing. And it's going to convert that directly into its text counterpart. So that's amazing handwriting detection. And of course, a lot of people write much better than that. You're going to get great results every single time. And of course, you can do this in any field, okay? So if I go over here, I already had the keyboard over here, but if I were to go to any website just to reset the keyboard, and again, if I tap it like this, it's going to know that I have my S Pen. It's going to bring this up. Now, how to enable this feature? So all you do is, let me put the S Pen behind. And by the way, anytime you want to use the keyboard, even if you have the S Pen detection enabled, you just tap on this one, you go right back to keyboard. So to access that setting and enable this feature, what you want to do is you want to go to the settings of your keyboard from here. Now you may or you may not see these all the time. If you don't see the settings icon here, you just tap this button. It's going to reverse the settings versus the autofill option here. So you tap on this one, goes to the settings. If you still don't see the settings there, you tap over here. It should be right here. But you click on the settings and all you do is enable the pen detection feature. And as you can see, once you do that, it says show the handwriting pad when the S Pen is detected. All right, so let's move on to the next tactic. All right, the next feature has to do with your gallery application. So if you launch your gallery application and if you just bring up any photo that you want, with every single photo, what you can do is you can swipe up and that's going to give you even more details regarding your photo. Now, one of the biggest things here, of course, you have all this information here, but you also get the location information of a particular photo. So if somebody sent you a photo or if you send a photo to somebody, they can also swipe up on that given photo and bring up the exact location where that photo was taken. It's a great way to remember where you took a particular photo. If you click on this, it's going to take you to Google Maps and also you can navigate to that place as well. Now this could be a security concern as well because when you take any photo, it saves the location information inside that photo. Now if I were to share this photo with somebody else and they do the same thing under the Galaxy smartphone, they are going to see the location information as well. Now that's something you might want to hide. Now real quick, just an addendum to this tip. If you go to your camera and if you go to the camera settings, all right, what you want to do is if you don't want the location information being saved inside your photo so anybody can access it, you want to go up here and you want to make sure location tags are disabled. So when you take a photo with the location tags disabled, it's not going to give you this information. It's going to show up blank. Let me show you one example. So I got a photo right here. I go into the photo and if I pull up, this one did not have location enabled, so nobody can see the location information. Fantastic. Let's move on to the next tactic. The next thing I want to talk about has to do with Bixby, and a lot of people do not use Bixby. But what I like with Bixby is I can use it to restart my phone. So let me show you what I'm talking about. I set up my Bixby so it responds to my voice. So I'm going to say, "Hi Bixby, restart my phone."
Are you ready to restart your phone?
Yes. So as you can see, without pressing any buttons, just by using my voice, I was able to, in fact, restart my phone. Now to do this, you don't really have to do anything. As long as you have set up the Hi Bixby command to go on, when you say it, it's going to allow you to give this command of restarting your phone. So we are back in business. So for those of you who do not know how to access this setting, let me show you. Hi Bixby. So when this comes up, you just swipe up to see more information, all right? And it's going to go into this particular home screen that's different from the other one. So if you swipe over here, it goes to a Bixby home. But when you say, "Hi Bixby," and you swipe up, it takes you to a different menu. And to access this menu, you can also use the Bixby button. So you go to the settings, all right? And from here, you want to enable voice wake up feature. Just tap on it. It's going to walk you through on how to set up the Hi Bixby option. So every time you say it, it's going to launch the Bixby. All right, let's move on to the next tactic. The final hidden feature is in your accessibility. So let's go to the settings. I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about. So if you scroll all the way down, go to accessibility. What you want to do is you want to go to interaction and dexterity. You tap on it. And on the top, what you have is you have something known as the assistant menu. When you enable this, it's going to give you a menu you can put anywhere on the screen. When you tap it, it gives you access to all kinds of different options, all right? So here's the menu right here. Let me tap it. Let me put it right over here. Tap on it. So I have the recents, home, and back key that replicate these at the bottom. I can turn off the screen from here if that's what you like, all right? And then also other options I have. I can take a screenshot using this menu. Fantastic. I can tap it again, swipe over, and I can even bring down the notifications panel by tapping this thing. So that's all great, okay? Now with this menu real quick, if I go back here to accessibility, when you go to interaction and dexterity, it's right here. You can also do a lot of other things. You can even increase and decrease the transparency, as you can see. So it can be very visible or not so visible, all right? But it can be on the screen at all times for quick access to a lot of things just by using the software key. And of course, you can in fact tap on the assistant menu options and actually modify the entire menu. You can add more things or remove stuff you don't want. So as you can see, I just changed it up a little bit, all right? Absolutely fantastic. All right, so in this section of this video, I'm going to give you a full list of tips, tricks, features, and a complete tutorial for the S Pen, for the Samsung Galaxy Note 10 or the Note 10 Plus. Now, the S Pen is a fantastic tool and it's full of deep and rich features. And I want to make sure that you master every aspect of your S Pen for your Note 10 and become a master of your device. So let's dive in and get started. Now, I do want to let you know that the S Pen, in addition to being a writing and a sketching tool and also being able to navigate your phone with it, has 3 other dimensions. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about those 3 dimensions of the S Pen, and they're all comprehensive. Now, when I hover the S Pen over the screen and press the button, you're going to see all the 3 dimensions right over here. So the first one is the Air Command menu. This I'm going to be talking about at the end of the video. The other thing is the Air Actions, which is right over here. So basically this S Pen is connected to your phone via Bluetooth, and it is in fact a remote control that allows you to control your smartphone with the actual S Pen from a distance. And right now it is 100% charged. When you tap on this, it even tells you what it does. So it is able to do Air Actions that allows you to take pictures, zoom in, and more by pressing the S Pen button and waving the S Pen around. So I'll show you how to customize that and how that works in detail. So that's the second dimension, the Air Actions. The first dimension is the Air Command, and the third dimension is the settings menu right over here. When you go inside over here, you have a whole list of options that you can customize for the actual S Pen, and that's the third dimension. So let's dive in and discover everything. Now, before we dive in detail, I do want to show you 2 quick tips that you're going to absolutely love. Now, first one is if you go into your Samsung Notes application where you'll be taking notes with your S Pen, you can do something really cool that was not available before. So let me just bring up Samsung Notes right here. When you go inside, you can just create a new note right from here. You can click the plus button. You can create a brand new note. But when I go back over here, here's a note that I just made a couple seconds ago, and I wrote this with my S Pen right over here. Now, something new that's on the Note 10 is the fact that after you write something with your handwriting, you can tap on that and you can actually convert that to actual text. You even get a preview on the top over here. So that is absolutely beautiful. I can tap on all these things that I wrote with my S Pen on the screen, and I can just convert them to actual text. I can tap on this one. I can do a conversion. So that's beautiful to create perhaps a shopping list. that looks nice and neat. It's also very great for students in the college, okay? So that's one thing you can do, convert handwriting to text. And the other thing that I do want to show you before I dive into the details is if you do go to the settings over here, you can access S Pen settings from also the advanced features. You tap on S Pen and the same menu pops up that I showed you a couple seconds ago. And you can unlock your phone with the S Pen remote. So go inside here and simply enable this. By default, it's at don't use. So enable that and click OK and then go back out. Now let me lock my phone really quickly, okay? And what I can do is I can press this button and that's going to allow me to log into my phone with the actual S Pen. That's brilliant. So those two things are quick bonus tips. Now let's dive in to some actual details. The first thing that I'm going to cover with the S Pen is the menu. Okay, so let's click on this button. This is the first thing I'm going to cover right over here, the settings. That's the second thing I'm going to cover, the second dimension, and then I'm going to cover the air command. All right, so let's go to the settings. I'm going to show you exactly what you can do. So we're going to skip this because that's the air actions. We're going to be talking about that in a minute. Now we already talked about this one. Now this is the screen off memo. So you can jot down notes even when your screen is locked. So let me lock the screen again. Okay, all you do is press the button and tap on the screen and that brings up this screen off memo. You can start writing right over here without even having to log into your phone or start any application. So that's a screen off memo. Nothing new, but it's there. Now let's log into our phone with my S Pen. Press the button. All right, that's fantastic. And the next thing we have is Air View. Now let's click on it. First, you can enable it from here, okay? And then you can also click over here to go into the details. So basically, Air View gives you information when you hover above certain applications. So you can go to the calendar, you can go into the photos. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So let's pull up calendar real quick. So I have the calendar right over here. Now if I were to hover over, without even touching the screen, hover over the screen, it is going to give me a preview without even me touching the S Pen with the actual screen. So that's fantastic. You can do this in the calendar and even in the gallery. Let me give you an example with the gallery as well. So let me launch the gallery. And again, if I come over here and hover on any one of these pictures, it'll give me a quick preview. Okay, so that's my phone, that's my beautiful daughter, and then I have my other things right over here. So you can see all the Air View in action. Okay, so let's go back to the actual settings right over here. That's the Air View. And again, you can also perform this in the calendar application, in the gallery, and of course you can take a look at everything else that's available right over here. So that's Air View, and then we have the pointer. Now if you look carefully, when I bring the S Pen close to the screen, there's a pointer that follows the tip of the S Pen. I can disable that if you don't want it. I don't like it, to be honest, so I will disable it right now. But for the sake of this video, let me just keep it enabled so you guys can see it as it hovers about. A little hard to see, but it's there. There's a little dot that follows the tip of the S Pen, showing you exactly where the S Pen is going to make contact with the screen. The next thing over here is the Air Command shortcuts. Now when you press this, you can actually customize the Air Command. Now I'll go into the details of each individual item in the Air Command. So when you press this, you get the Air Command. Now this stuff here is actually customizable. Okay, so if you go to the settings and if you go into the shortcuts, what you can do is you can remove, this is the strip that reflects the Air Command menu. So you can remove all these things if you want, okay, and only add the things that you need. So two options. First, you have all the S Pen features, create a note, Smart Select, just an example, and then you can even add applications. So I can add calculator, camera. So when I launch the Air Command now, it's just going to be those 4 items, and I can launch the calculator right from here. Okay, so I'm going to go into details with all those things, but for now, let's go back to settings. But that's just the shortcuts menu you can customize. And then you have the floating icon. If I tap it, you get a floating Air Command icon. You can put it anywhere on the screen. Tap on it with the S Pen, and that brings up the Air Command as well. If you ever don't want this floating icon, you can just grab it and dump it on the top. It's gone, all right? And just disable that if you don't want it. I don't care about it. The next thing, when S Pen is removed from the house at the bottom, its housing at the bottom here, what do you want the phone to do? You can either create a note, do nothing, or open Air Command, all right? So if you pull the S Pen out from the bottom, you can do these three things. I prefer to do nothing, to be honest, and then perform my own actions as necessary. So that's all great. Now the next option here is a very important setting. Make sure it's enabled. Basically, if you remove the S Pen from your device, from your Note 10, and put on the table, and you grab your Note 10 and you walk away, you will lose the S Pen, and the S Pen is not cheap. You have to spend $50 to $60 to get a brand new one. So with this enabled, what's going to happen is if you do leave your S Pen behind and you walk away, you quickly get an alert from the Note 10 letting you guys know that you're forgetting your S Pen. Go grab it so you don't lose it. And over here, it even gives you the information. It says last detached 8/22/2019 at 11:25. Okay, so I have this removed for making this video and actually knows. So that's actually a nice hint of knowing when you last removed it, at what time, in case you do lose it, in case you don't see that notification that you get. But again, make sure this is enabled so you never lose your S Pen, all right? And of course, there are other S Pens you can go and buy. If you want to be able to use multiple S Pens, even the S Pens from other devices, you can enable this. So I can actually use multiple S Pens on my device. So let me enable this and show you the other S Pen that I have. I'm going to use it right on this phone. So here's the other S Pen from the other Note 10. And again, it's working on here as well, okay? So this is a brand new option. I've never seen it before, but it's great to have. I can even use a white S Pen. So I'm going to disable this for now and just keep using the original S Pen, all right? The other thing is the feedback. Do you want the S Pen, your phone, to play sounds when you do things with your S Pen? Yes. So when you remove your S Pen, it creates noise. When you write on the Samsung Notes application, it gives you a writing noise sound. So that's great. And also make sure vibration is enabled. This is all for feedback, so you know that you're doing something with your S Pen, okay? So that's all the settings we just went over. Now we're going to move over and talk about air actions, okay? Again, when you press this button, you have 100% battery in the Bluetooth of the S Pen. It's fully charged, and this is the air actions. You go to the settings to customize the air actions. The very basic way the air actions work is what happens when you hold down the pen button. So if you tap on this one, you can open any of the S Pen features or any of the apps that you want. Okay, you can pick any app to open when you press and hold this button. Let me give you an example. Right now, I have chosen the Samsung Notes. So if I press and hold, it is going to launch Samsung Notes. Okay, now if I go back over here and if I tap on this, I can now choose the camera application if I wanted to. And then when I press this button and hold it, it is going to launch the camera. Okay, so that's that. That's the first part on the top over here. Now let's go into app actions. What happens when I use the S Pen for a specific supported app? These are all the supported applications right here. If I tap on the camera, for example, a single press in the camera app takes a photo. Double press over here switches the camera, okay? And then you have the air action gestures. So this is up, down, left, right. You tap the button, you go up, and that's the up gesture. You tap the button, you go down, that's the down gesture. So let me show you a little bit about that so you get an idea of what I'm talking about. So let's start with the whole process. Let's press and hold on the actual S Pen. That's going to bring up the camera. If I press the button once, it simply takes a photo. You even heard the shutter sound. If I double tap the button, it switches the camera to the front-facing camera. If I double tap it again, it switches it back to the other camera. Now if I press the button like this and go up, that also switches the camera. If I press and go down, that switches the camera again. And look at these photo and video modes. I can switch between these with the app, with the S Pen. Press side, so I went to video. Press side, now I went back to photo. So those are the air actions and the remote control functionality for the S Pen. Let me go back here for a second. You can do the same thing with all these apps, but one thing I want you to know, when you go inside, you can customize every single one. So when I do a single press, I can do any one of these things or do nothing. Okay, it's all up to you. Double press on this in the camera app, you can do any one of these things. It's all up to you. Same with up, down, left, right gestures, clockwise circle, counterclockwise circle. So just an example, if you tap on up, you can do all these things with your S Pen even zoom in and zoom out. All right. So you customize how you want to do it, and then you just use the S Pen to do the controls. The same methods apply to all the other apps. Gallery application. Single press gives you next item. Double press gives you previous item. Okay, so if I launch the gallery right now, let's go into a photo right here. Single press goes to next, next, next. Okay, next. Double press goes back. Amazing, all right? So make sure that you guys come here and customize the S Pen for each specific available application, which is right here. And of course, if you go down, you do have access to general controls. You can also modify them, as you can see. For camera or for media playback, if you are in a music player, you can play and pause with a single press, double press, next track. So let me just quickly show you an example. So let's launch the music application. So for example, I can press, it's going to start to play, press, okay, so that's great. Press play, pause. Again, you want to come here and take a look at all the available options for yourself right there. Oops, on the top under Air Actions. So that's basically everything you need to know about the Air Actions. We covered the full menu for the actual S Pen, which is right here, okay? And then finally, let's talk about Air Command. Now let me just X this out for a second, okay? So let's talk about the Air Command stuff. What I do want to do is I want to tap on Settings, go into Shortcuts, remove all these unnecessary apps, and all I'm going to do is I want to add in all the fine Air Command options so I can show you guys what they are all about. We don't need this one. We also don't need the pen up or the coloring. Those are just applications. And basically these are all the things you're going to be needing, all right? So let's go back out. Let's press this, bring up the Air Command, and let's see what each one of these amazing built-in functionalities actually do. All right, so let's bring up the Air Command menu real quick, and let's start from the top. So this is a basic one. So you tap on this and it's going to create a note. You can take a quick note and then save it, and it's going to get saved into your Samsung Notes from where you can access it later. Now let's go to the second one. So if I press this, the second one is known as the Smart Select. So this is actually a great tool. When you tap on it, you get a bunch of options at the bottom. First, if you go with the square option, you can select any part of the screen in that square format, and then you can save that as a screenshot, and you can also extract the text from the actual thing. So let me just give you the extract text option. So if I were to go over here and select this area, there's some text in there. So if I tap on extract text, it's going to extract the text that you can copy or share. Again, you can do this on any place, okay? You don't have to be on the actual home screen. You can do it in a gallery, in an app. Okay, so let me bring that up one more time. So what you can also do is you can do the lasso tool. So with this one, you can cut any part of the screen just like this. Okay, it's all going to be up to you. And then if you go back over here, you can also go over here to Smart Select, and you can do the circular tool, so you can take a screenshot just like that. All right, so that's all fantastic. Now when you go back over here, you still get this tool over here. You can expand it and reuse it as many times as you want. So that's the Smart Select option, and to kill it, just press the back button on the actual phone. Now let's go to the next tactic. So go over here, we have the screen write. Now when I tap on this, it takes a screenshot of whatever page I'm focused on, all right? So if I do it right now, it's gonna take a screenshot of the actual home screen. But the thing is, after taking the screenshot, it also allows you to write on the screenshot and change the colors and all that good stuff. So you can use your S Pen to annotate the actual screenshot. This could be a screenshot of a map, and you can send your friend a reference map and actually draw exactly where you're at. So things like that are very useful. So that's the screen write feature. Then we have the translate feature, which is pretty amazing. So if I click on this, you get a toolbar on the top. Right now it's set to translate from English to Turkish, and if you tap on this one, you can change the source language, and you can also change the target language. Okay, so you can translate from any language to any language using Google Translate engine, so you know that it's comprehensive. So if I go to this website over here, if I want to translate a word from English to Turkish, I just hover over the word, and you'll see that it has the actual translation on the top right over here. translated by Google. Now if you want to translate a full paragraph, you tap on this button, hover over the screen, and then just select the area that you want to translate the entire paragraph. And it's right over here. This is absolutely crazy that you can do this. And again, paragraph text. Source language, you can pick any language. You can, for example, just go from Danish to Armenian. It's all going to be up to you. Okay, so let's kill this. And let's go back to the next tactic. So press this. Let's go down. We've got the live message. You tap on this one. Just click allow for all the options. You want to capture a moment for the background. So let's pick the background for the live message. You can pick from gallery, collection. You can take a new photo. So let's go ahead and choose one from the actual color. So let's tap on the color. Let's just go with this color and then click on start drawing. And what you can do is you can actually draw live messages. So if I draw this, I can play the drawing and it's going to give me nice effects all over the place. So that's pretty good. Let's undo this. Let me show you one more tactic so I can take different pens. Let's do a different color and let's just draw the number 8, okay, as you can see. And then I can play this. All right, you can do beautiful things with this, but once you're done, you click on done, it saves it, and then you can share that with anybody you want on the web, on Facebook, via text message, via email, whatever you want to do. Live message saved in the gallery. Go and do what you want with it. So if I go to the gallery and go to the live messages, it's going to be right over here. As you can see, it's saved as a video. Okay, so that's great as well. Nice thing to play with. Let's go back and see what else to do. So if I press on this one, now we can do the magnify. Magnify is pretty damn amazing. Again, you get a toolbox on the top, and right now it's set for 200% magnification. I can change that to 150, 200. I can magnify anything I want on the screen. So let's do 150. Take a look at that. So let's do 250. Take a look at that. It's bigger magnification. Let's do 300 maximum magnification in case you want to see something with more precise detail. So X that out when you're done. And then finally what we have is the glance feature. Now this is a very, very good feature. So to use glance, you have to pick an app which you want to glance at first. So if I tap on this one over here, let's say that I want to glance at this app as I'm writing the report regarding this news article, okay? So let's show you an example. So bring this up, glance, boom, that gets minimized to the corner, and I can hover the S Pen over it to glance at it. Now let's say that I'm actually sending a text message to somebody over here. Let's go over here. Let's say something, I was writing a text message about a news article. Hey, CNN was writing this. I can hover over just to do a quick glance and let it go, okay? And then continue writing my message based on what I was glancing at. All right, so that's basically the last of the items on the Air Command menu that's important. Now, when you're done with this glancing thing, you can just throw it away, okay? You can glance at anything that you want that is supported. But that's it. So here we have the Air Command, the settings for the S Pen, and the Air actions, and we went over every single one of them. Alrighty guys, at this point you guys should be the master of your S Pen. In this section of the video, I want to share one of the ultimate software features of the Samsung Galaxy Note 10 or the Note 10 Plus, which allows you to hide photos, videos, files, messages, and any file you want to hide under a total lockdown on your Note 10. Once you hide these files, nobody can access them unless they know your unique password or PIN number. And of course, everything is fully encrypted, only you have the access. So let's dive in and discover this powerful feature known as a secure folder. Let me show you how to set it up, and also let me show you how it works. Let's dive in. You are gonna love this feature and it's gonna maximize your ownership. All right, so to set up the secure folder for the very first time, what you wanna do is you wanna go to the settings in your phone, and then you wanna go into Biometrics and Security. You tap on that, and then you wanna scroll down to where it says secure folder right over here. Then you click on that one, and it's going to say, welcome to secure folder, protect your data and make secure copies of your apps. So click agree, And then it is going to ask you, do you want to use your Samsung account with the secure folder? And this is going to be for backup purposes. So you can back up everything in your secure folder to Samsung Cloud and later restore it back into another Samsung smartphone. So in my case, I'm going to say yes. So I'm going to put my fingerprints. And then it's saying creating the secure folder. It gives you a quick overview of what it can do. Keep your apps secure, lock them in the secure folder, add files to your secure folder so you can hide them under a password and all that good stuff. So let's let this complete and then we're good to go. Now here it's saying pick a secure folder lock type. You can pick a pattern, a pin, or a password. Now I'm going to pick a pin number, and I just want to let you know this pin number is independent. It's different than the pin number that you use to unlock your smartphone, okay? So secure folder has its own pin number. And then you also have the option to use your fingerprints to actually unlock the secure folder, so you can enable or disable this if you want. I'm going to do it anyway. It's very convenient to have it. And then I'm going to click on next, and then it's going to ask you to pick that pin number. Let's just, for the sake of being easy, pick 0000, click continue, 0000, click continue, and the secure folder is in fact ready to go. It is right over here. Now when you create the secure folder for the first time and you exit it, it's going to actually get dumped into your app drawer. So if I go to my app drawer, here's the secure folder. I can grab this, of course, and I can put it anywhere that I want on the screen. So just for the sake of ease, I'm going to keep it right here in the middle. So when I tap on this one, it is going to launch the secure folder. So let's quickly secure this. So every time I click this, it actually requires a password, okay? And after that, I'm going to show you how to add photos, videos, and other files in here so nobody else can access it. So go to this, tap on over here, go into the settings, all right? And then over here, tap on Auto Lock Secure Folder. When you click on it, by default, it says when screen turns off. I want to pick immediately, all right? Now, when I exit the secure folder, as I just did, and if I tap it again, boom, it's going to ask me the PIN number or my fingerprint to go into the secure folder. So now it is under total lockdown, inaccessible to anybody else but you. So real quick, let's say that I go to my gallery and I have 5 pictures here that I want to hide from somebody else. All I do is, let me do one picture first. So let's choose this one right over here. And all you do is tap on this button here and say move to secure folder. You click on it, all right? And then you put your authentication in there and it says moving to secure folder. That picture is gone from my gallery. Nobody can access that picture anymore from this gallery here. But if I go to my secure folder and if I put in my actual authentication, I can click on, there's a little tutorial. I can click on gallery and that photo is going to show up right over here. Okay, so that photo is right here. Now I do want to let you know, just to be comprehensive, if you want to move this photo out of the secure folder, you can click on it again, tap on that button while you're in the secure folder and say move out of secure folder. And that's going to send it right back outside into the regular gallery right here. All right, as you can see, it's back over here. And again, everything that happens in the secure folder stays inside it, all right? So over here, I have the gallery. That gallery and even this camera application here is secured in the secure folder, meaning if I launch this camera and if I take a photo right now, okay, I just took a photo. Let me click that. So just took a black photo. Now, if I go back out, that black photo is going to be inside the gallery within the secure folder. If I go to this gallery, it's not going to show up because it was taken in the secure folder. So that's one of the magics of the secure folder. Now, if you want to add multiple files, you just select all of them. As you can see, you click on this one, you say move to secure folder, put in your fingerprints or whatever, your PIN number, and all that stuff gets moved over. And now if I go to my secure folder, just to show you how it works, gallery, boom, all those 5 pictures, including the one that I took the camera using over here, are in the gallery. Same way, if I do anything in the calendar while I'm in the secure folder, let me just cancel this, is going to stay in the secure folder. So this calendar entry that I'm adding right now is going to only appear in my secure folder version of the calendar. So it's quite a powerful tool. And of course, if I go to the internet and if I browse the web for anything, all my history, all my cookies are going to be saved under the secure folder. It's not going to have anything to do with the Internet Explorer that's outside in the actual app drawer, okay? Now let me show you one more thing. If I tap on secure folder and if I go inside, I can also add apps or files from here. So I don't have to just go outside and do the adding of the files. I can do it from, I can go to add files. I can pick what kind of files I want to add. I can even go to my Files browser, and then I can actually pick images, videos, audio files, documents, downloads, installation files right from here and send them to the secure folder. If I tap on downloads, for example, there's a bunch of downloads right over here. So I can pick this one, for example, and I can say done, and that's going to be transferred into the actual secure folder. All right, it says move file or copy file. I'm going to say move, and we're good to go. It goes right into my gallery as you just saw. It's right over here. So there's multiple ways to get things done. And of course, one thing I like doing is I like to create secure notes. All right, so if I go into my notes application right over here, as you can see, I have all these public notes over here. If I want to create a secure note, all I do is I go to secure folder, I put my fingerprints in. Okay, now I'm logged into my secure folder. Nobody has access to this. I tap on this one and I create a new note here. Okay, so secure note, and I can dump in some passwords or pins or whatever I want. So this is only available through the secure folder. If I exit and if I go back to my regular notes over here, and if I tap on this button, as you can see, that note is not going to show up here. But again, if I go back over here, it is going to show up right over here. So that's, notes right over here. Okay, same thing is possible with anything that you do in any of these apps. And of course, you can add more apps. You can create secure copies of your other apps, and anything you do on that app remains a secret. Let me click add one more time. For example, you can add Facebook, and everything that you do on that Facebook remains a secret on that Facebook application. Or you can have a multiple Instagram accounts or whatever. All these apps are addable right over here. Now, let me tell you a couple other things you can do with the secure folder to make it even more secure. What you want to do is you want to tap on this button here, all right? And then you want to go into the settings, and then you go to lock type. And something really cool over here is you can actually use a dedicated fingerprint to log into your secure folder. So I can actually enable this and then register this finger right here that only unlocks the secure folder. So these fingers will not work. All the other registered fingers will not work, but my one dedicated finger, that could be this one, can in fact work. So that's great as well. So that's one way to make it even more secure. The other thing you can do is you can disable the secure folder completely, so that disappears. It's not going to be anywhere in the screen. So if you want to access that, you go into the settings, all right? And then you go into the security, and then from here you go into secure folder. All right, so if you want to hide it in your app drawer, you can do that as well. I like to show that. What I like to do is some other trick to hide it. Let me show you that as well. By the way, you can back up and restore the secure folder to your Samsung account. Just be aware of that, all right? You sign into your Samsung account, and you can back up the secure folder as well, so you don't lose any data inside it if you ever lose your phone. Okay, so here's an amazing tactic. Secure folder, okay, go inside, go here and click on customize, all right? Now what you can do is you can change it to something like this. So you can change it to finance folder. So when you say finance, change the icon as well. Let's pick something like this, okay? So now anybody that clicks on the secure, on a finance folder is simply gonna back off, because they're going to think, okay, this is financial data. Everybody hides their financial data, so don't worry about it. Not a big deal. But in reality, you can have anything inside here, but you can just rename it and give the impression that it's just a finance folder. Most people back off when they see a finance folder because it's a private thing for everybody. Nobody's going to think you're hiding your naughty photos in there. So that's a great way to make the secure folder even more obscure. All right, you can hide it as well, but I prefer this method. You can give it any name that you want, secret files or whatever. Depends on how secure you want to be. All right, you can also give it a letter, as you can see. Okay, so it picks up the first letter that you give it in this title. So click apply. Now it's going to be secret files. So that's basically all you need to know about the secure folder. I mean, you can go inside here and look at all the settings as you please, but I did show you most of the things you can do with the secure folder. It's basically a secure environment to hide your files, your photos, your videos, your music, whatever you want, including your apps, under a total lockdown so nobody else has access to it. And it's one of the best implementations of a secure folder on any phone that I know. In this section of the video, we are going to be talking about the advanced features on your Samsung Galaxy Note 10 or the Note 10 Plus. Let's dive in and get started. So what you want to do is you want to go to the settings, and then the advanced settings are going to be sitting right over here, okay? You want to tap on it, and in this video, we're going to go over all the advanced features from top to bottom. So the very first thing that we have up here is the accessories feature. Now, if you tap on the accessories, you just get to enable or disable things like the fast wireless charging, okay? And if you add accessories to your phone, and if there are any accessory specific settings, they will show up here as well, from which you can enable or disable that particular setting. So right now I have nothing attached to my phone, so we're only seeing the regular fast wireless charging option, but that's it. So let's go back over here. The next thing over here, we have the Bixby routines. Now, a lot of people don't really care about Bixby, so I'll come back to this option at the end of the video. So I'm going to skip right now over to the side key function. So the side key is this button right over here. You've got the volume up, volume down, and you have the side key. Now, when you press the side key, it turns off the phone. When you press it again, it turns on the phone. That's the basic functionality that cannot be modified. However, what you can do is you can modify what the side key will do when you double press it or when you press and hold. So right now I have it set so when I press and hold it, the power off menu comes, as you can see, so you can turn off the phone from here. Or if I double press it, it's going to quick launch the camera application. Now you can also come over here to open app option and just go to the settings and pick any application you want to launch when you double tap that button. All right, eBay option, for example. Now when I double tap, it's going to launch the eBay application. All right, so that's a good little customization that we have right there. So that's a side key. All right, the next feature we have is call and text on other devices. So if you enable this option, okay, and you connect a compatible device such as a Samsung Galaxy Tab S6, the Samsung's tablet, you can use that tablet to make calls and receive texts and send text messages by using the phone number of this device. Now when I tap on this one, it gives you some details. You have to log into your Samsung account. You have to enable the use mobile networks if you don't want to just use Wi-Fi. And of course, this is your phone number that I have blurred out right now, but this is the main phone number that's going to be used on the other device that's connected to this device. So that's just convenient to have. Now here what we have, the link to Windows option. You enable this and you go inside, and again you have to log in with your Microsoft account over here. And again, I do have a full video dedicated to this particular option. It takes too long to explain here, so I'm going to drop a link to that video as well down below. But basically you will be able to connect the phone to your Windows device, your Windows PC, your Windows laptop, and you will be able to see everything that's on this phone on the actual Windows. So you can mirror the entire phone onto your Windows computer. You can also make calls, receive text messages, and access the photos that are on here right on your Windows PC. So again, to link to that video in detail is down below as well. Now let's go down and move on to Smart Pop-Up View. So this one right over here, if you go inside and first just pick one application and enable it for that application, let me demonstrate exactly what it does. So with messages, I have the Smart Pop-Up View enabled right now. So I'm going to send myself a text message and you'll see exactly what it does. So here's the message and watch what happens on the screen. Boom, I've got a Smart Pop-Up View right over here, okay? I do get the same notification right here as well, but then I get the Smart Pop-Up View. Now if I click on this, okay, it gives you a small window from which you can actually respond to that text message if you so desire. So let me X this out. Now if I disable this, okay, if I disable this and send myself a message again, I'm just going to get the regular notification, all right? So that's just a regular notification that you get on the top. And of course, over here in the notifications panel, So that's that. But if you enable this, you get the pop-up view option, which I think is pretty good if you want some additional options happening. And again, you can enable this for any app that you want. You just have to go in and customize it as you please. So that's Smart Pop-Up View. Now we have a screenshots and screen recorder option. So if I go inside here, first let me talk about the screen toolbar. So when you do take a screenshot using any method on your smartphone, let me use this method right here. That's the one that I like to use. I go to my soft key edge panel, and then I take a screen capture. And after I take the screen capture, at the bottom we have a toolbox here that allows you to quickly make some modifications to that screenshot as you desire. If I did not have this enabled, and if I took a screenshot, nothing is going to show up at the bottom. But if you have the screenshot toolbar enabled, I can tap on this one, click on screen capture, and then I can use this toolbar to do other things. I can tap on this one, change the size of the screenshot, and then save it that way. And also, if I'm in something that's scrollable, let's just go to the regular settings for a second. So here we have regular settings. If I take the screenshot, I can tap on this button. It'll actually go down and take another screenshot and make a long screenshot. I can keep doing this until the whole page is covered. That's crazy. So you can then click on this, and that's the entire screenshot you are able to save on your phone as a photo. All right. So that's why the screen toolbar is in fact very useful. So let's go back inside here. Screenshots, enable that if you want that. And then you can enable this one if you wanted to. After you share a screenshot, it automatically deletes that screenshot. Now over here we have the screen recorder settings. If you tap on it, you can make some modifications. You can record sound, media sounds and the mic, or you can also pick the video quality. So basically, if I pull the notifications panel down right over here, okay, you'll find that there's a screen recorder option right here, and it could be anywhere over here. Just look for it. When you click on it, it starts to, you give it the permissions, it starts to record the screen. 3, 2, 1. So the screen is being recorded, and this control panel is not being recorded. So I can go back home, I can go back into the settings, I can go over here, pull this up, put this out, go back here, and then I can stop it, and the recording has been now saved into my gallery as a video. So if I tap over here, I can actually play that. Let me just do always that screenshot. Okay, so it also recorded my voice, remember, because I chose that option. I said media and the mic. So everything that's in the phone sound-wise is being recorded, and it's picking up everything from the mic. And again, you have to go to gallery to access that saved media file. So that's the screen recording option, which is fantastic. Now this one over here is reduce animations option. If I have this enabled, and if I go back out, go back in, you'll notice that the phone is a little bit slower because of the animations. It gives us a nice smooth look with the animations, as you can see. If I go back home, if I tap, but if you enable this, the phone responds a little bit faster. Okay, so I can actually now go in here, go home. You see the animation was a little bit quicker. So it reduces the animations, makes the phone feel faster. Doesn't really increase performance, but just makes it feel like it's running faster. Then we have the game launcher option, and we do have the dual messenger, and we have the video enhancer. Now let me quickly talk about this, and I'll go back up over here. So with the video enhancer, you can enable this. When you launch any one of these available applications, okay, it's going to enhance the video by enhancing the image quality of your videos to enjoy brighter and more vivid colors. It does make a difference, okay? So try it out with the YouTube application. Watch a video with this disabled, then rewatch the video with this enabled, and you'll see it's going to be much more vivid and enhanced, looks much better. Now next up, let's go into motions and gestures and start off with the lift to wake option. Okay, this is a very simple process here. If this is disabled, nothing happens when you lift your phone if the phone is turned off, if the screen is off. But if you have this enabled, and if the phone is turned off, let's go over here and lock the screen by going to my soft key edge panel right over here, soft key edge, lock the screen. So the phone is turned off, and all you have to do to take a look at what's happening on your screen is lift it up, and it's going to wake up the screen as you just saw. That's lift to wake feature. Okay, so let's go inside and look at the other tactics. All right, so let's go right back into settings over here, go into advanced features, and go into motions and gestures. Now then you have the double tap to wake functionality. Now I really like this functionality. Basically, again, so if you lock the screen, all right, you can just double tap the screen to wake up the screen. So let's do that right now. Tap, tap, boom, boom. It's right over there, all right? And we log right in. So that's double tap to wake. Now this one here is Smart Stay feature. If you enable this and tap on it, you'll notice that the phone actually remains on as long as you're looking at it. So the camera over here is able to recognize the fact that you're actually staring at the phone, and it keeps the phone on, especially useful if you are reading a news article or just reading something on the web. Normally when you don't touch the screen for a couple minutes, the screen just turns off. With this feature, it knows that you're looking at it, so it does not turn off. Next up, we're going to talk about smart alerts. So if I go inside here, basically what happens is, let's say your phone was sitting on the table just like this, okay? And let's say somebody sent you a text message and you were away from your phone. Then you come back and you just grab your phone and go like this. The phone is actually going to vibrate to let you know there's a pending notification waiting for you. So that's a great feature to get some kind of feedback that something actually happened while you were away. By the way, if you're wondering what case I'm using for my Samsung Galaxy Note 10, I will drop a link down below, okay? It's a question a lot of people keep asking me, so I'm going to keep repeating it. Now let's go back inside over here and go to the next tactic. So we go back to Smart Alert, go right back inside. Now what we have here again is an amazing feature. It's called the Easy Mute feature. So enable it and go inside. Basically, let's say somebody gives you a call and you just don't want to take that call, but you also want to mute the call. You don't want to press the phone, you don't want to do anything. You just go like this and it's going to mute the call. That's it. Now let me be very clear, you don't just actually go like this. That's my bad. You do have to put your hand on the actual phone just like that, and that's going to mute the call or even mute a notification from an alarm or a timer or whatever. Okay, you can just go like that. Now if I go back out here, let's just go to the clock application. I am going to set up a timer to show you how it works. So let's do 3 seconds. Boom. Okay. Now let me turn this off and it's going to go off. Now what I can do is I can go like this and it's muted that notification. You cannot hear it. That's great. All right. If you had a call, it would mute the call. Now the thing is going to keep running in the background just in case, but it's not going to make any sound. That was fantastic. Now let's go back over here and also let you know you can do the same thing like this. So let me just start another timer. Okay. Look at that. It's going to start crying in a minute. All I do is grab the phone, put it like this, and it's going to mute that as well. This works for calls, alarms, any kind of notification that keeps going on and on, all right? Even for an alarm. So it's great in the morning to do these things if you want. Let's go right back in and go to the next tactic, all right? Let's go back. Then we have the one-handed mode. This is one of my all-time favorite features. Basically, you tap on it, okay? And you have two options. You can go gesture or you can go button. I like the button version. Basically, just triple tap the home screen and it's going to give you a smaller version of your phone that you can use with one hand. Now, if you are holding the phone with your left hand, you can just left justify this and just use it like this. So I can use the entire phone just with one hand, one thumb. That's amazing. It has become as small, and then when you're done, you want to go back to the full screen, boom, you tap on the black area, it goes right back. So triple tap, 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 and boom, boom, you're right back. That's just great. So let's go down over here. And now I want to show you the palm swipe to capture. A lot of people don't understand how this works. They go like this. It's not going to capture anything. This is going to take a screen. It's supposed to take a screenshot when you go over the phone like that. What you're missing is you have to actually touch the screen. Okay, so you touch the screen and swipe over. It will take a screenshot as you just saw. I can look at it from the gallery right over here. That's the actual screenshot right there. Okay. Let's go back to settings. Again, just to show you one more example, go home. As you're swiping, make sure your hand touches the screen from the side, from the edge, and boom, it takes a screenshot. That's great as well. Let's go back, look at the final thing. Swipe to call or send messages. Once you enable this feature, you can go into your phone application right over here, and on any one of these contacts in your phone, whether that be your recents or current contacts or whatever, you can swipe to the left to make a message, or you can swipe to the right to activate a call. If you swipe it all the way, it's going to call. If you swipe it all the way this way, it's going to send a message. Okay, so swipe, message, swipe, call. And that was the last feature under motions and gestures. So let's go right back to the main menu and continue. Then we have the dual messenger option. You tap on this dual messenger, and basically what you can do is you can enable these apps to have two accounts work with them at the same time. So if I enable Facebook over here, I can have two Facebook apps running on my Samsung Note 10, and I can log into it from two different accounts. It could be your main account and your stalker account. All right, so that's the dual messenger. Also works on WhatsApp right over here. And then we have the game launcher. Let me show you what that does. So enable this, and let's just assume you have a bunch of games installed. I don't think I have any games. I do have 2 games, so that's good. So I can go to game launcher. It's going to show up as an application. Let me just locate the application. I can even dump this anywhere that I want, just so you know. Okay, so let's just put it here for a second. Let's just put it in the middle for symmetry. So tap on this one. Click to agree to the terms. Just disable that. You're not going to receive marketing. Click start. This is in fact the game launcher. When you launch it for the first time, you have the option to hide all the games in your actual app drawer, and they're all going to show up here. I'm just going to cancel this. I like to see all my applications. Cancel that. I already did that. Click OK. You get a quick tutorial, but all your games are going to show up right here. Okay, and then it shows you the playtime, daily playtime, average Galaxy gamer playtime. Then you can swipe down. You get some statistics on how you are gaming, and you have all these suggestions that you can browse through. It's a game center in where if you are a gamer, you are going to like it. And if you go in here, you can change the game performance. Okay, so this one is maximum performance. You can do balanced, focus on power saving. You can apply and change these settings. But if I tap on this one more time, you do have all these options. Go to the settings, modify these options, come and play with them. When you do launch a game, you also get a button. All right, by the way, this is a game booster. Just click start. You get a button here that you can tap as you're playing the game to access all these settings. So let me just flip this for a second. As you can see, you can monitor the temperature, you can monitor the memory, so that's going to be great. Okay, and then you can block things during gameplay, block all these things if you want to enable these. If you go back, you can also advanced game features. You can enable Dolby sound for gaming, auto screen lock. All these options are doable. And of course, you are also able to take screenshots and record the gameplay, again, using this little button that activates after you enable the game launcher. All right, so let's get out of here and go back into advanced settings to learn even more. So let's go back. Oops, should be right over here. There we go. So that's the game launcher. If you enable it, you are going to get this thing right here. Okay, so go back. Then we have the send SOS messages. These are stress signals. You enable this, and basically what you want to do is if you press the side key twice, it launches eBay, because that's what we did earlier. But if you press the side key 3 times, it is going to send a stress signal to your emergency contact. All right. And of course, what you want to do is you want to agree to terms. To send stress signals, at least one recipient needs to be added. So you're going to click add and pick anyone that you want. So I'm going to create a contact right now, just X, and I'm going to just do 111, click save. There we go, click save. So that's my emergency contact, and I'm going to go back. Now, basically what happens is if you are in an emergency situation, you can triple tap this button and the message is going to be sent. What the phone is going to do automatically is it's going to attach an audio recording of when you click the button, and also will take a picture on the front and the back of the camera and send it to your emergency contact. In case you're in danger, they can then respond. Okay, so as soon as you press this button 3 times, it's going to attach the audio recording, it's going to attach the pictures all automatically and send it to your emergency contact. So this way you'll be, if you're in danger, maybe somebody can reach out and help you. Finally, let's go back and talk about Bixby routines. So advanced features, Bixby routines. Now these are kind of like a computer program. You just set routines for yourself. You have preset routines, okay, right here. I'm going to show you how it works, or you can create your own routines. I'm just going to pick a preset and show you how it works. So let's pick this one, before going to bed. So if you tap on it, it says if time is equal to, and you pick the time that you want. So I'm going to pick one time. Let's just say I go to bed at 12:15 a.m. Click done. So if the time is between 12:15 a.m. and also you can pick an end time for every interaction, for every routine, you can pick an end time. Let's just say 9:15 a.m. So if time is between 12:15 a.m. and 9:15 a.m., then click next, do these things. And with these things, you can remove anything that you don't want, or you can add something. Okay, I can add this to be turned on or turned off. Let's just, for the hell of it, Bluetooth will be turned off when this condition plays, the one that I just chose. So that's great. So it's an if-else statement. Okay, so if this happens, then do this. And also do this. Like I said, you can customize, you can remove or add any option that you want. Then you click done, and then it goes into your My Routines. From here you can enable or disable. As long as this is enabled, this is exactly what's going to happen that day. Between that time, if this condition is met, then do this. Okay, pretty cool if you want to get into it. So you can do all these things, or you can create your own. It's all going to be up to you. All right. So that's Bixby Routines. Not something I've used, to be honest, but it's nice to have if you're into this kind of thing. The next thing I want to talk about has to do with your home screen. When you go to the Play Store right over here, and let's say you download any application. Let's just download this one right here. When you click install, something actually annoying happens that I personally don't like, and you may not like it either. So it's saying it's installing, and now it says shortcut to coloring has been added to the desktop. So if I swipe over, it's just going to be sitting right over there, and that's something I don't like, because then every time I install an application, it just creates a clutter on my home screen. I like to have it go directly into the app drawer and manage it from there. So all you want to do is you want to go back over here, okay, pinch the screen, tap on home screen settings, you disable add apps to home screen. So if you disable this, now when I go to the Play Store, as you can see, let me just grab something else over here, click install. This application is going to install, but it's not going to drop a shortcut on the actual home screen, which is great. It is going to go straight into my app drawer. Okay, so the install was complete. If I go home, swipe over, boom, there's nothing over there. Okay, it actually, let's look at the name of that application, Happy Color, will go directly into my actual app drawer, which should be right here, Happy Color, and from here I can manage this as I please. Alright, so that's fantastic. Let's move on to the next tactic. The next thing I want to talk about has to do with arranging your home screen. So a lot of people are grabbing applications and moving them over one by one. It's taking a lot of time to do stuff like that. You can actually batch process this whole thing. So let's say I want to grab all these 5 folders and apps together and move it to the top over here. I don't have to grab each one of them and move them one by one, which takes extra time. All I have to do is press and hold, and then click select items, then select the items that I want, and then press and hold. It gets bundled together, and I can just dump it on the top right over there. Okay, same way I can do it like this. Select items 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, press and hold, it bundles it together. I can move it to this screen if I wanted to. So this is a very easy way to actually organize all your applications. Let's remove this from home. I'm going to show you one more thing. You can do the same thing if you go over here. Let's say you have 5 applications you want to drop on the home screen. You can do the same thing. Select 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Press and hold. All right. Take a look at that. You grab it, put it anywhere you want. Boom, dump on the home screen. One more thing I want to show you guys is if you want to create a folder, again, you can choose all the apps that you want to create a folder for. And on the top, you just say create folder. Boom, gets bundled together. You go inside. You just give it a name, you pick a color for the folder, and you're good to go. All right, so just be aware of how quickly you can get this kind of arrangement done on your Note 10, on your Samsung devices. All right, let's move on. Now the final tip I want to share has to do with your battery. So sometimes you're out there and your battery is about to die. You don't have access to a charger, but you need your phone, and at least you need the basics. So there's a trick for that that allows you to extend your battery life considerably, even if you have 5% of battery left. So if that is the case, you want to go into your settings, you want to go under device care right over here, and then tap on battery. And then when you tap on this button here, the power mode, you actually get all these different options. Okay, you got the high performance mode, you got the optimize, the medium power savings. But again, we're talking about this one right here, the maximum power saving mode. It says save as much battery as possible. All you do is tap on this one, and what's going to happen is your phone is going to transform into a basic phone. As you can see, let me show you how it's happening. Okay, so it's on, and that's all you're going to see. You've got access to your phone, messages, the internet if you really need to, and a bunch of little settings over here, okay? And all these are lightweight settings designed to save battery. You can also add 4 more applications, and that's all you can add. But this is the maximum power savings mode. Even the black background is designed to save you battery life. As you can see, on 35% battery, it can last for 1 day and 14 hours. That's almost 2 days, all right? Now, when you're done with this, you just tap on this one, you say turn off maximum power savings mode, and boom, you're back in your colorful phone. And there we go, all right? So now it's gonna go right back in. Just give it a couple seconds to load up in the good old colorful stuff, okay? In this section of the video, I'm going to share 10 crucial settings that you should enable on your Samsung Galaxy Note 10 or the Note 10 Plus right away. So let's dive in and discover your phone. Now, the very first thing I want you guys to understand is when you turn off your phone using the side key right over here, there is a slight problem. So if I turn the phone off right now, if I double tap on the screen, the phone wasn't actually locked, even though it does have a PIN number. So what I'm going to show you guys right now is to fix this, because right now by default this might have been disabled. So what you want to do is you want to go to the settings, you want to go into the lock screen, and then you want to go to secure lock settings. You tap on that one, all right? Then you put your PIN number in, and what you want to make sure is this option right here, lock instantly with side key, is in fact enabled. Like I said, again, if I turn off the phone using the side key over here, and if I double tap on the screen, the phone is still in fact unlocked, and it does stay unlocked for up to 15 seconds based on the setting that you have right over here. But if you had this option enabled right over here, now you're fully secured. So when you turn off your phone, okay, and you double tap, it goes straight into the actual login screen. You do have to authenticate yourself. Now that's number one. Number two, make sure you also tap on this one, and the lock automatically feature is set to auto immediately, all right? So even if the screen turns off by itself, which it does in 15, 30, or 2 minutes, whatever setting you have, when the screen shuts off automatically, the phone also gets locked automatically. If you have by default, I think it's at 5 seconds or 15 seconds, your phone is not secure. It's unlocked even after screen turns off for a couple seconds, wherein somebody can make a quick move on you. So make sure these two options right here are in fact enabled. And also make sure this option here, lock, network, and security options, is also enabled. So when the screen is locked, again, just like that, nobody can go here and make modifications to your Wi-Fi from here. If they try to do it, it's going to request that you enter your PIN number or put your actual biometric authentication in there. So make sure these three options are enabled to be fully secure. Now let's move on and talk about other feature. Now I do want to give you guys a quick bonus feature. This is not security related. It's not that crucial, but it's something you might be wondering. So when you tap this button right over here, you have 4 icons at the bottom. These are the suggested applications based on your usage. So the more you use an application, the more likely it's going to show up at the bottom here. Now some people don't like this option. What you can do is you can go back over here. You can tap on this button here. You can tap on settings and then simply disable suggested applications right from here. Now when I tap on this button, the recents button, I'm not going to see the suggested apps, and this window is going to be more centered right over here because we have gotten rid of the space at the bottom. Okay, now for now I'm preferring to have these guys, not a big deal, but if you don't want it, boom, it's gone. All right, let's move on. Now the next thing has to do with your device management. I want to make sure that your phone runs at optimum condition at all times. So again, go to the settings, scroll down to device care, tap on it. And from here, first and foremost, what you can do is you can always optimize your phone manually by tapping this button. And as you can see, the phone is going to do all these things to optimize your phone and give you a 100% score, okay? And then you can click done. What you can also do is you can set this to happen automatically every day at a given time, so you don't even have to worry about it, but your phone is fully optimized at all times. So if I tap on this button here, I can go into auto optimization, and what's going to happen is I can pick a schedule here. I can pick any time of the day. I prefer to do it when I'm asleep, so I'm going to click done and also enable this option. This is going to close up apps to free up memory. Even though the phone has a lot of memory, it's always a good thing to do memory management so the phone is clear and fully optimized. You can read this here to see exactly what it does, okay? But turn this on, set a time when you're not doing anything on your phone. Even if you were doing something on your phone, it's not a big deal, this one, okay? But just enable this so you don't have to do it manually. As a matter of fact, you'll probably forget about it, so it's nice to do it automatically. The next thing has to do with auto restart. On top of auto optimization, you want to make sure that you auto restart your phone every now and then, at least once or twice a week, again, to make sure it runs at maximum performance. So you want to enable this, and you want to pick a bunch of days. So if you enable this, you can pick all 7 days. You can do this every day, or if you want, you can pick 2 days a week. So I can pick, let's pick Saturday and Monday, okay? And then I pick a time, again, when I'm asleep. And what's going to happen is every Monday and Saturday at 3 a.m., the phone is automatically going to restart as long as these conditions are met. And that's also going to make sure your phone is running at maximum performance. Restarting your Android smartphone is very important for that maximum fresh performance. By the way, if you want to access device care directly from your apps, you can tap on this button here. Now by default, this is hidden. If you tap on show icon on apps screen, you can come here, and over here you have the device care in your actual app drawer. So let me just locate the application, and it's right over here. From here, when you tap this, goes directly into your actual device care. And again, if I go over here, you can grab this and you can put this anywhere on the screen if you so desire for quick access. So that's great. Next up, tap on battery, okay? And then tap on the settings on the top, go into the settings and make sure adaptive battery is enabled. Make sure put unused applications to sleep is also enabled. So basically this is going to extend your battery life. If you are not using application too much, it's going to limit the battery usage for that particular application. And this one here is going to put apps to sleep when they haven't been used for a while. So if there's an application you haven't used for a long time, it's still running in the background, it's going to put it to sleep automatically. So that's great for battery management. If you tap on it, you do get some details. From the details, you can pick the day before the app gets put to sleep. So 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. I prefer to do it at 1 day. So if there's an application you haven't used all day, boom, it's going to sleep, all right? So that's a great application. All right, so next option I want to talk about in the same section is optimize settings. Make sure it's enabled, go inside. And basically, after midnight, these 3 settings are going to turn on by default. The media volume is going to be 46% maximum. The screen will turn off after 30 seconds of inactivity, and it's going to reduce the brightness for the phone after midnight. In case you use your phone, it's going to be very light on the battery. Okay, so again, after midnight, nobody uses their phone too much. So you want to make sure the brightness is minimum. The screen timeout is 30 seconds because the more the screen is turned on, the more battery you're eating. So make sure this one is also enabled. Alrighty, now let's get out and move on to the next tactic. Alright, so let's say you go to a website and you're trying to log into somewhere, whether you're putting your email, of course, more importantly, your password. So when I try to put my password in here, as you can see, as I type the password, you can actually see the individual letters I'm typing in. So A, S, D. So if somebody's watching the password field, they're able to see what you're typing in. You can disable the settings. All you do is you go to the settings, all right? You go to biometrics and security, and from here you go into other security settings right over here, and then you disable make passwords visible. So you disable this. Now when I go back out into that browser over here and try to log in and type in my password, as you can see, nothing is visible other than a star. All right, so that hides your actual wallpaper, which could be very useful because some people are always staring at your phone and you don't want to expose anything if you don't have to. We want 100% seal on our privacy. Okay, so the next feature has to do with your screen. So when you buy a Samsung Galaxy Note 10 or the Note 10 Plus, from the box, you already have a pre-installed screen protector on the phone. If you haven't noticed that, you'll see it. You can actually peel the screen protector off if you don't want it, but it's pre-installed. I did keep mine until it gets damaged and I can then put another one, okay? But there's one thing you do have to enable. Now, when you put a screen protector on your smartphone, the touch sensitivity of the screen takes a little hit, okay? So what you can do is you can go to the settings and you can go into display. If you are having any trouble with any other screen protector as well, you scroll down and you simply increase the touch sensitivity so the screen is more responsive if you do have a problem with that, okay? I'm not having any problems with this pre-installed screen protector, but some aftermarket protectors do give you a hit on the actual touch sensitivity, so it feels more immersive when you have that enabled. But again, if you're not having any problem, don't turn it on, but if you are, then you can, all right? And of course, finally, make sure accidental touch protection is enabled as well. So basically, if you read this right here, protect your phone from accidental touches when it's in a dark place, such as a pocket or a bag. Now, if you don't have a screen protector, and if you enable the touch sensitivity, it's not gonna be good, because then even if when the phone is in your pocket, it is going to actually, your pocket's fabric texture is going to touch the screen, it's going to activate that. So make sure you enable this only if you have a screen protector, and also enable this just in case the phone doesn't do crazy stuff in your pocket. All right? In this section of the video, I'm going to show you guys something amazing. So what we're looking over here is the Samsung DeX PC functionality that is available on the Samsung Galaxy Note 10 Plus. Now, real quick, basically, my phone is being projected onto my computer, my Windows PC, in a desktop-like environment, which is this thing right over here. And what you see in the background is my regular Windows, okay? All this is my regular Windows, but this window here, the Samsung DeX window, is the Samsung DeX app that is allowing me to use my Samsung DeX that's coming from the Note 10 Plus right onto my Windows PC. And of course, in a minute, I'm going to show you guys how I can transfer files back and forth from my smartphone, because this is my smartphone to my PC, and then from my PC to my smartphone. It's going to be an amazing experience. Now, to accomplish this task, all you need is a regular USB Type-C cable. So one end of the cable connects to my Samsung Galaxy Note 10 Plus, and then the other end simply connects to my computer's USB port right down over here. Once you do that, there's a couple things you have to do on your PC to get this rolling. So let's dive in and let me show you how to get that done. And I will let you know that this keyboard here and this mouse that is connected to my actual PC is also available to be used with the Samsung DeX window right over here. Now, really quickly, before I show you how to set this up, I do want to show you one thing. So I'm going to grab this picture right over here, this Audi S5 picture. I'm going to drag it over to my Samsung DeX environment, which is going to pop the picture right over here. So real quick, let me go into the gallery, okay? Now, as you can see, my gallery right now is empty. And let's say I have a bunch of pictures on my Windows computer and I want to transfer them over. All I do is drag it and drop it into the Samsung DeX environment. And as you can see, it says moving one item, and then once the move is complete, boom, it pops up right here. This is absolutely fantastic. Okay, now what I'm going to do, now that you know what's going on over here, to set this up, I'm going to switch over to my computer and show you everything you can do with the Samsung DeX, and also how to set it up on the Windows side. The first step always is to simply connect the cable to your PC, and then you come over here and you simply do exactly what I show you. Alright, so here's my PC as you guys can see. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to kill the Samsung DeX application. So what you want to do is to go to your browser right over here, and then what you want to do is you want to type in samsung.com/dex. Once you do that, you'll come to this website right over here. So as you can see, you can download the Samsung DeX app for Windows 7 and 10, and also even for the Mac OS if that's what you want to do. So I clicked this one and it downloaded the application, and then you simply install the application. After the application is installed, all you do is go to your search bar in the Windows right at the bottom here and type in Samsung DeX, and there's the app. Okay, the app is also going to be found in the Microsoft Store. So once you click this application, it's going to say to start Samsung DeX, connect your phone to your computer. It's already done, as you know, and boom, there is the Samsung DeX right over here running atop my Windows. And like I said, look, take a look at this gallery over here. So this is my gallery. I just transferred one picture a couple seconds ago. That's one photo. Now if I take these two pictures from my Windows computer and drag them over, it's going to transfer those files, saying move into items, and it takes a couple seconds. Now it transferred all those pictures into my actual gallery for today, and you can see them right here. Now with this one over here, I can actually click on this button to expand, maximize the window, and click it to make it windowed mode, and I can also minimize it, and it goes down right over here. So let me show you around the Samsung DeX environment. And I do want to make it very clear that you can also send and receive text messages from the DeX environment while your phone is connected to your computer. So basically you go to the app drawer at the bottom right over here, okay? And I can just search for my messages just like that. That's my application. And then from here I can send and receive any text message that I want. As you can see, that's my Samsung order telling me it was delivered already, so I can respond to that message even though nobody's going to see that. I can say thanks, but I can actually do this right over here. On top of that, I can actually make phone calls. So this phone is not going to work, but I'm just going to click, let me actually go to the app drawer over here, search for phone, okay? And I can click on this. And again, here's my dialer. I can go to my recents, my contacts, my places. So from the keypad, I can dial any number that I want and I start making calls. What's going to happen is once you dial the number, the phone's speakerphone is going to activate automatically so you can start talking into it. So yes, you can make phone calls and receive and send text messages from this environment. So again, remember, this is entirely my phone. So I can go to my files, and from here I got the recent files. These are the ones that I just played with a couple seconds ago. I can access my images, videos, audio, documents right from here from my files. I can transfer back and forth from the PC, from the Windows PC to the actual phone, no problem, okay? So you can go to the Internet Explorer from here, so you can actually browse the web. And of course, you can go into the settings of your phone, and these are the Samsung DeX version of the settings in your phone. I can go into Samsung DeX here. I have all these options, keyboard, DeX Labs. You can look at these by yourself when you get the chance. But if I come over here, I can go into the display. Now, as you can see, some of these settings are grayed out because it's smart enough to know that I'm not using the actual smartphone. What I'm using is the Samsung DeX on my PC, okay? Now, real quick, at the bottom here, you can access all your applications. These are all my applications on my actual smartphone. Now, just to give you an example, I'm gonna launch YouTube application, and it comes right over here, okay? And then from here, what I can do is I can click any of these videos and they will start playing, okay? And they will in fact play, the music will come through the players of the actual Windows PC. So that's my YouTube application. I can minimize this, it goes down over here. Over here, what I can do is I can click on this button. That's just the recents. That's all my recent applications that I was using on my smartphone or on my DeX. I can click that one more time. This takes you back home. So if I'm in the app drawer, for example, I can click on this button. It'll take me back home. Now that's the back button. So these three buttons here basically mirror all the buttons on your smartphone. The home key, the recents key, and of course the back key, and of course the recents key, and this is the app drawer right over here, okay? Now over here what we have is we have all our notifications from our smartphone. So I can click on this one here, and these are all the notifications that I have right from my smartphone. Even tells me that the phone is charging right now, and it's charged. But over here, I have access to my control panel, so my Wi-Fi, my sound, my other settings right over here. As you can see, even the battery, I can click on this. It takes me into the battery settings. At the bottom here, I can click on this. It'll take me to my calendar. If I go over here, it will take me to my Finder. I can search my phone. I can change the volume from here, as you can see. And this is just giving me, showing me that I have a keyboard attached right over here. So this is Samsung DeX. Again, like I said, you can access any app from here and do work on your smartphone. Now, if I were to go into the, click this button here, the DeX button, I can click on this. So I can go into DeX Labs, and then I have all these extra options I can play with. Force apps to resize, that's an option that's available. It is a beta, so I wouldn't play with it too much, but you can force apps to resize, auto open last application. If I click this one more time, I can lock the DeX. So if I click on this, my DeX has been locked. Now, to unlock it, I have to use my phone. So I'm going to go over to my phone right now. I'm basically just going to use my fingerprint. It's going to log me in, and boom, it's ready to go. So that's great as well. And here's the gallery again. I just want to open a bunch of windows to show you guys they can also be used side by side. So all these windows can be used in a multitasking fashion. All right. So I can exit out. I can minimize them, and they'll go to the bottom right over here. This is Samsung DeX. Now you can also go to your app drawer and go directly into the Play Store to download other applications. Okay, so you can download any application that you want. Now there's one more thing that's happening over here. By the way, real quick, I'm just going to type in using my keyboard, so I can actually download Microsoft Office, and that's going to be fully compatible with DeX. So I can do Microsoft related tasks on this Samsung DeX application. Okay, so I'm going to X this out for a second. I'm going to show you one more thing. If you go back to the app drawer, on the top it says check out applications for Samsung DeX. So if I click on that one, it'll take me to specific Samsung DeX applications. So if I scroll to the bottom here, it takes me to the website actually. So let's maximize this. Okay, so if I scroll down, at the bottom it says try these apps in DeX mode. So here's all the work-related applications that are fully compatible with Samsung DeX. Microsoft Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Outlook, Adobe, Reader, Office Suite, Handcom, Office, Skype, OneNote, and of course more applications. You can check it on this website here. Now once you're ready to grab the application, like I said, you go to your app drawer, you go into the Play Store, and you download whatever you want. You got your mouse and keyboard good to go. Okay, so Microsoft Office, I'm going to click on this one, click on this one again, click install. It's going to show up in my computer and on my phone, no problem. Now there's the Word application. So if I click on this one, let's see what we see. Click allow. I'm going to sign in later. Let's see what we're going to see over here. So look at that. I can start working on a Windows document right over here. It's not letting me do it because I have to sign in, but I can click on this and start using Microsoft Word as if it was a full PC. And again, if I launch the YouTube application right over here, I can play any video. And if I play this video here, you're going to hear the sound through the speakers on the computer. So let me just click it real quick and just shut my mouth for a second. Let me skip the ad. So that's the video I'm watching. Now if I maximize this, it'll go like this. Hey guys, Sock here from Socky Tech, and in today's video what we're going to do is we are going to be doing an unboxing of the Samsung Galaxy Note 10 Plus. We'll also do a first... So I'm watching that video right on my actual Samsung DeX environment. Okay, so when I'm done, I can click on this. I can even maximize it fully. So this is completely maximized. I can even maximize Samsung DeX. I can click on this one. It'll take the entire screen on the computer. When I'm ready to go back, I go to the top. It says Samsung DeX. I click on that button. It puts me back into windowed mode. Click that, back in business in a windowed mode. Okay, exit out. So it works absolutely fantastic. In this section of the video, I'm going to show you even more amazing stuff. So here's my Samsung Galaxy Note 10 Plus right over here, completely and fully linked to my Windows PC. All right, so I'm going to show you how to get this done in a second, but real quick, let me show you. As I interact with the phone over here, the changes actually occur in the actual screen. And as you can see right over here, I can access all the photos, messages, notifications, and of course the phone screen in preview, as you can see right here, right on my Windows PC. And all this is done completely wirelessly. So I can have my phone on the table and I could be doing some kind of work on my PC and have full access to all the essentials on my smartphone. And of course over here I have a keyboard and a mouse, and they're also available to be used with this entire interface right here. So I can even pull the notifications panel down right over here. Same thing happens over here, okay? So when I pull this up by clicking here, same thing happens over here. If I go over here and launch the Play Store, that's gonna work here as well. And if I go into the Play Store, and if I wanna search something, I can just type it right here. So let's search something. Let's type in P-O, see what comes up, Pokemon. So if I click on that, I can in fact install, and everything is being mirrored on my actual phone. And the good news is everything is going two-way back and forth. So basically if I had to press the button over here, take a look at that. That's the phone screen. If I press this button, this one goes home as well. So everything I'm doing on my phone on the actual table is happening on the actual PC, which is absolutely fantastic. I'll show you one more thing over here. If I go to the photos, I can see all the photos on my actual smartphone. So if I go to my smartphone here, if I launch the gallery, okay, you'll see those photos right over here, the photos that I just took earlier. So the same photos are appearing right over here. So that's great as well. Other thing I can do is I can access my messages right over here. And I can respond to all these messages as I please. So I can go in here, I can click here, and actually using the keyboard, I can start to type in whatever I want, and I can send from here. And again, everything reflects on the actual smartphone. Now, when you send a text message for the first time from your Windows PC, on your phone, you'll see this message right over here. You're gonna click Remember My Choice, and you're gonna say Always Allow, and that makes sure that every time I send a text message on my Windows PC, it's gonna occur on the actual smartphone. And finally, the other thing you can do is you can go into the notifications right over here, and you have access to all the notifications that show up on your notifications window. So if I go over here right now, let me go home. Okay, I'm using the mouse. That's amazing. If I pull this down, all the notifications that you're seeing over here will be showing up in the notifications right over here. And you can always click refresh to see if there's anything new that's happening. Same with the photos over here. You can actually click on refresh. If you take new photos, you can quickly do a refresh and they're gonna pop right over here. So this is absolutely fantastic. Now, I will let you know how to set this up right now. But before I do that, I'll let you know no other phone can do the phone screen option, okay? So this one right over here, let me just pull that up. So this phone screen preview is exclusive to the Note 10 Plus. I have a Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus right over here. With that one, you can do photos, you can do messages, you can do notifications, but you cannot do the actual phone screen in preview, as you can see. Now let me show you how to set this amazing feature up. All right, so first, here's what you need to do on your actual Windows PC. Simply go to the search bar at the bottom and search for Microsoft Store, and then go into the Microsoft Store. And when you go to Microsoft Store, simply search for the Your Phone application, okay? So Your Phone app, and then click on this button. And then when you come up to this window here, mine has already been installed. All you want to do is click install or get. And once you have installed this application, I want you guys to go ahead and launch it. When you launch it, this is the screen that you are going to see, okay? And of course, as far as Note 10 Plus is concerned, this is all you have to do on the end of the computer. Now, if you do have a Samsung Galaxy S10, S9, or any other Android phone, you can click this button and follow instructions. But you have the Note 10 Plus, this is all you need to do. The only other extra step you might have to take is to log into your Microsoft account. So this whole process does require a Microsoft account. Anyway, let's switch over to my phone and show you the next steps. Alright, so in your Samsung Galaxy Note 10 Plus, all you want to do is you want to pull down the notifications panel and pull one more time to bring up the actual control panel. And in the control panel, I want you guys to take a look at the link to Windows option. If it's not on the first page, just swipe over, it'll be somewhere over here. So you want to click on link to Windows option. So let me click on link to Windows option, and what's going to happen is it is going to allow me to start connecting my phone to my Windows PC. It's in fact enabled right now, but there's also a couple other things you do have to do. You want to press and hold on link to Windows option, okay? You want to press and hold, it'll take you into the full detailed settings. I'll let you know that you can also go to the settings over here. That was just one way to access it. You can go to the settings right over here. You can go into the advanced features right over here, and you can also go to the link to Windows option from here. So from here, you want to make sure that you log into your Microsoft account. So I'm going to click on this one. I'm going to actually log in to my Microsoft account, and that's going to start the linking process. So let me do that right now. I'll be right back after I dump in my credentials. So as you can see, I just logged in, and now what's going to happen is it's saying to reconnect, open the Your Phone app on your PC. So here's my PC. That's the exact same place I just left the application. I'm going to do is I'm just going to X this out, okay? I'm going to go back over here, and I'm going to just type Your Phone. That's the phone application. Just like the phone says, it says open the Your Phone app on your PC. So I am going to click on that, and this time what's going to happen is it's going to pop right up. Saki 10 Plus is the name of my smartphone. So everything is happening right here. So if I go to the photos, it says check your phone. So let's take a look at our phone. I'm checking the phone right over here. Over here we have something in my notifications. And what you want to do is you want to allow this phone to connect to your phone app on the desktop. So I'm going to click on that. Click allow, okay, boom, everything shows up on the spot. So everything is right here. My photos, as I showed you in the beginning of the video, I can access each individual photo, as you can see, okay. I can even grab one of these guys and actually dump it onto my desktop, which is great, okay. So I can transfer files onto my desktop right from the actual gallery application, which is really good. The only thing you cannot see here are the videos. I wish that was available, but right now we can only do the photos. Now here we have the messages, as I've talked about. Then we have the notifications, as I also talked about. And then you have the phone screen in preview. You can click on this and it's going to connect to your phone. Right now it is unlocked. I'm going to log into my phone, and boom, we're right here. And on the phone, again, you can do everything. Okay, you can access the folders, you can access your apps. You can pull this down, go to the settings, make some tweaks as you desire. Again, you go to advanced features, you go to the link to Windows, and here's where you configure all the link to Windows options on your actual smartphone. You can turn this off anytime you want. Don't want to do that right now, okay? So let's go back home. Even look at this. This is great. I'm using my mouse to control everything. All right. And one more thing I want to show you guys is, so basically you can click this button and that's going to expand the screen if you just want to work with the screen. But at the bottom here, you also have settings. So in this settings, you can modify all these options, and this is the Windows side of the settings. So you can allow this app to show photos from my phone or unallow it. With the messages, you have all these options, all right? If you go down, and if you go down right over here, you can see the phone screen. Allow this app to display my phone screen. So that's the option that enables this. Remember, this is exclusive to the Note 10 Plus, at least right now. And then over here, you have all these other options that you can take a look at, all right? So just want to give you a full tour in case you don't have the Note 10 Plus, but you want to see what's happening. But if you do have the Note 10 Plus, just set it up and you're good to go. As long as you have a Windows PC, this does not work with the Mac. Again, at least for now. In this section of the video, I will share 5 must-have applications exclusively for your Samsung Galaxy Note 10 and the Note 10 Plus. Now, real quick, to grab these applications, we will be going to the Samsung Galaxy Store instead of the Google Play Store, because Play Store simply does not have these applications. Hence why they are only for your Samsung smartphone. And of course, I'll show you how to get them. So let's start with app number 1. All right, so the very first app I want to talk about is the car mode application, and this application is exclusive to Samsung smartphones. Now let me show you what it is really quickly, and I'm going to show you where to get it right away. So let me just go to my app drawer and search in for the car mode. So I'm going to go just like that. So you tap on the car mode. When you first launch it, you're going to see these two options right over here. The main feature on this screen right here is the new parking mode. So if you want to park your car, you can simply click on new parking, and it's going to remember exactly where you park your car. So when you go back to your car, it's going to give you directions on Google Maps. You can also access your settings from here and all that good stuff. But let me first show you what the app is and where to get it right away. So when you click on driving mode, it's going to launch in 3 seconds. And this is designed for when you're driving your car. So you only get access to basic applications such as the Maps application. If I click on this, it's going to launch Google Maps, and you can control the Google Maps application right from here. You can go back by tapping that button. You can access your music library right from here. If you have any musics in here, okay, from the library you can access tracks, artists, albums, playlists, and as you can see, everything is large and easy to touch because it is designed so that you can use it when you're driving. Now when I go back over here, I can go into my Google Play application, so I can play my music from my Google Play library. So I can go back, I can go to my phone application, I can go to my messages application. Now when I click on the messages or the phone, it is going to allow me to use voice commands because it doesn't want you to actually look at those messages while you're driving. So when you click on it,
You have 4 unread messages.
it's going to tell you that you have a bunch of unread messages, and then you can, or if you tap on one of these messages, it is going to read that message for you.
Verification.
Okay, so that's how this one works. And if you swipe over, you have a little widgets area. From here you can control your music, and from here you have the weather widget, and that's absolutely fantastic. Now when you tap on this one right here, it shows you the running apps in the background. You can tap it again to go back. When you're ready to exit the car mode, you click on this one here and you click on close, all right, and that's going to exit the car mode. Now where to get the car mode, you go to your Samsung folder and you want to launch your Galaxy Store. Now all you want to do is actually just go to the app drawer, and on the Finder search, just type in Galaxy Store, okay? So from the Galaxy Store, we get all these Samsung exclusive apps, and that's where we're gonna get all our apps today as well. So search for the car mode, and that's it. So car mode, and it comes right up. You click on it, and then you go inside, and you click install over here. In my case, it says open because it's already installed. So let me open that one more time really quickly. All right, and as you can see, we have a bunch of tips on the top here. And you can also click on available apps, and these are all the available applications, the audio applications you can use for the car mode. And if you go over here to navigation apps, these are all the navigation apps, including Waze, that you can use in the car mode. You simply install this, and it's going to pop right over here. Let me show you that real quick. 3, 2, 1. It's launched. It's going to show up right here. Okay, so you can download those applications, no problem. So that is the car mode, designed exclusively for when you're driving your car with nice, easy to touch big buttons. All right, let's move on to the next application. Now the next application is pretty amazing. It's part of a package of applications. So what you want to do is, again, you want to go to the Galaxy Store. All right, Galaxy Store. This is where we're going to be getting all our applications. These are not available on the regular Play Store. So what you want to do is you want to type the good luck. All right, so you want to type in good luck. You click search. You tap on good luck, and you install good luck. Once you install the good luck, you're going to open this up. And the app that I want to talk about is fantastic. It's known as the Navstar application. So when you first install good luck, all these guys are not going to be installed. So you have to press the button here that shows the shopping icon. So it's going to take you to the Play Store, not the Play Store, the Galaxy Store, and you have to install that application. Once you have installed that application, you come back to the Good Luck application, which is right here, and it's going to show up here, and it's going to say install. Now let me tap on Navstar and show you how amazing this one is. So tap on Navstar, enable Navstar, and I want you guys to take a look at the bottom here. The buttons have changed shape. So I can pick from all these different custom options and icons so that my navigation bar at the bottom looks different, so it gets less boring. Okay, so I'm actually particularly interested in this one here. Now on top of that, you can actually create your own navigation bar with extra buttons. So I can click on new configuration. I can pick the background color, so it's going to preview it right here. I can go to button layout. I can say add a button. All right, so from here I can add the camera button. It's going to show up right there. And then let's say I want to add the notification button. It's going to show up right there. And then what I can do is I can go to icons, change all the icons as I please. You can pick any icon you want. You can customize every single icon on the top over here. So what I'm going to do right now is just show an example. So I'm going to click save. And then I'm going to go down and it's going to show up right here. I'm going to click on it. And that's my new navigation bar. So from here I can bring down the notifications panel. Just like that. That's fantastic, all right? So I can bring down this panel, I can tap it again, and goes up. Or I can just launch the camera right from here. Absolutely fantastic. So that is going to be the Navstar application. Now this one only works with Samsung smartphones, nothing else. And if you ever don't want to use it, you simply turn it off and it goes right back to business. But you have full customization ability for the navigation bar. So that's one application. Let's move on and talk about the next application. The next application exclusively is for your Samsung Note device, so it's useless to have it on any other smartphone, even a Samsung smartphone. If you have a Note smartphone, it's going to be amazing. So what you want to do is you want to go to Galaxy Store, all right? And again, you want to search for S Note application. Now this is designed for your actual S Pen. So you go inside, you install that. When you open it, now this is just another way to take notes using your S Pen. But this is the original application Samsung had for their Note devices. Now what we have is we have the Samsung Notes application, which is this one right here, which is also very good. But the S Note has additional functionalities that just makes it nice to have. So if I launch the S Note application, let me show you the couple of extra things it has. So if I click on plus over here, first and foremost, you have access to your pens over here. Business as usual, you got the eraser. You can do erase by stroke, erase by touched area. Let's go for the pen over here. Let's try this one. Click close. So you can write amazing things as usual. And what I like with this one is you can go to the settings over here and you have options to change the background of this page. So you can go to background settings. You can go with a note style, you can go with a grid style, you can go with a to-do style. So you can click on done. Now I got a to-do note that I can actually, take to-do notes on. And of course, if you go back there, go to background settings, you can also go to the diary option. You can create a diary, a schedule, a meeting note, and a picture diary. So if I click on this one, I can have pictures right here. I can just add pictures to this, and I can take notes on the side, which is absolutely great. If you click that one more time, you can also do insert. So when you do insert, it allows you to add an actual picture. So I can take any one of these pictures right here and I can put them into my S Notes as you just saw and take notes right next to it. So that's the S Note application that has extra functionalities on top of the Samsung Notes application we already have. This is just another application that is for your S Pen. All right, let's move on to the next application. The next application is fantastic because it allows you to customize your notifications panel's colors. So again, what I want you to do is I want you guys to download Good Luck. I think you already got that. So go into Good Luck, and this time I want you guys to install Quick Start. So tap on the shopping icon. It's going to take you to the store. Install Quick Start. Okay, once you're done with it, go back to Good Luck and launch Quick Start just by tapping on it. When you enable this, now you can do is tap on these things right here, click apply, and now I have custom notifications panels and quick toggle panels. So you can have all these various items right over here, which is absolutely fantastic. All right, now you have more if you swipe over, and also you can click on plus and create your own custom colored icon as you please. So now I picked a green theme, and I can come here and I can change every single color. So when the toggle is turned on, it's going to be dark green. When the toggle is off, it's going to be light green. The background color is very light green, so you can modify all these things. Let me just show you. So you can modify everything, and then you can click apply, and it's going to show up on the top right here. This doesn't look too good, but this, you're going to be playing with this yourself. And then you have all these options that you can modify, you can tell, and of course you can always turn this off, no problem. All right, now let's move on to the final application. Final app is a voice recorder app, and it's one of the best voice recorder apps you can get because it is free, so it has no ads. So again, go to the Galaxy Store, all right, and then type in simply voice recorder. You are going to get a bunch of options. I'm going to show you which one to get. So you want to get the one that is made by Samsung on the top and simply install it. Once you install this, you click open, boom, you've got a voice recorder. Now what I like about this voice recorder is it's got 3 options on the top. First one is just standard, so you can start recording right away. It's going to record, it's going to show you the voice levels right here. You can pause, play, save, all that good stuff. And then you can also categorize everything that you save. Okay, you can create categories, save everything underneath, whatever. But what I like is if you're doing an interview, you can go for the interview style voice recorder. So the phone has a microphone on the top and the bottom. So when you're doing an interview, the person sitting on this side is going to actually only use one microphone on this side to pick their voice, and the person sitting on the other side is going to use this microphone on the top to pick up their voice. So let me show you what I'm talking about. Let me just record and talk. I am on this side obviously, so take a look at that. As I'm talking, only this side is getting picked up. If I make some noise on this side, as you can see, it is going to be picking up from here. So if I was talking from the other side, you'll see all these voice levels go up and down. So that's great for interviews, okay? And you can save them in any category that you want. And finally, you have a speech to text function. So you talk, you record, and the entire thing gets converted to actual text. So let me show you an example. Click agree, click record. Hello, how are you? How are you doing today? So that is absolutely fantastic. It gets saved as an actual memo. So you tap on it,
Hello.
pause, and look at that. Beautiful. All right, so that was the last application I wanted to talk to you guys about. In this section of the video, I'm going to show you a Samsung exclusive application for your Samsung Galaxy Note 10 and the Note 10 Plus that allows you to do cool things like this. If I swipe down, it brings up a secret menu that allows me to take screenshots if I want to, or if I want to, I can change the brightness or change the volume and even play music right from here along with all these other toggles. So let's dive in and discover what I'm talking about. So what I can do with this application is I can swipe diagonally downwards from the side over here, all right, just like that, and bring up a secret menu. I can also, what I can do is I can swipe to the right to launch any application that I want, or I can swipe diagonally upwards to swipe another application that I set. Okay, you can do the same thing from this side as well. So that's all fantastic. Now let me show you where to get this app and how to set it up, because it can be overwhelming if you grab it for the first time. So this thing is known as the One-Handed Operation Plus. So what you want to do is you want to go to your Finder and search for Galaxy Store. Okay, you go to Galaxy Store, and from the Galaxy Store you simply search for One-Handed Operation Plus. As you can see, just type this in the search bar, then you search for that and go right inside, and you're going to be installing that. Now once it's installed, I'm going to have you guys open it. Now of course, when you install something here, by the way, just to be very clear, you cannot find this in the Play Store. This is a Samsung application. As you can see, it is actually made by Samsung Electronics. So when you go home, you can go back to your Finder search, you can tap on search and just type in One-Handed Operation Plus. Is going to show up right here, and you launch it right away. All right, so let's talk about this amazing application. The first thing I want you guys to understand is you have a left handle, which you can see right here as a preview, and you have a right handle, which you can see the blue handle right over here. And of course, what you can do is you can change the size of these things and change the transparency and all that stuff. I'm going to show you that in a minute. So let's first talk about the left handle, how to set it up and how to use it. So first, you have to enable it. So if I disable it, it disappears. If I enable it, it shows up right here. This is the left handle. Now when you go home, you're not going to see the left handle. It's going to be invisible. You're just going to know it's right here because you set it up that way. Okay, so when I swipe through it, it's going to bring up all those things. So let me go back inside. Now I'm going to click on the left handle, and now we're focused on the left handle. Now over here, we have a short, straight right swipe, which is this one, okay, which is going to launch the calculator because that's what I set it up to be. So when I tap on this one, as you can see, you have all these available swipe actions, but I went all the way down. I went to start an application, and I in fact picked the calculator application because it's something I use all the time. Now the diagonal up, which is this one, okay, is going to launch another application. Now when I click on this, again, I went all the way down. I went to start application, and then I chose the home application that I use all the time right over here. Okay, so that's how you set this up. Now with the diagonal down, what I did was I chose the quick tools option. So this is the quick tools right here. And of course, even the quick tools itself is fully customizable. If I click on this, I can add more options or remove options I don't want. So if I pull this up, you'll see that there's a flashlight option here. When I click this, it turns on the flashlight. When I tap on this, it takes a screenshot. So I have all these options that I can actually add and remove from here. If I want to remove a setting, I just click X, all right? So now the Wi-Fi is gone, as you can see. If I want to add any toggle, I can go here, and I can choose to do so from here. I can even put the night mode over here. I can have the night mode right there. So if I pull this down, you'll see the night mode at the bottom corner. You can add even more, as many as you want actually, and I can even do a split screen. And now if I pull it down, I have a new row, and I can add more and more and more. So this is fantastic. You got the brightness slider, you got the volume, you can bring down the notifications panel, and all that good stuff with the quick tools option that you can add to diagonal down. Now, let's to be very clear, you can add that to diagonal up or also swipe to the right. So I can have this just like that as well. So I can do it like this, or I can do it like this, all right? And if I'm outside, it's gonna be invisible, that bar, but I can still do it no problem. So that thing is fully customizable. That's the left handle. Now one thing, you can customize the area that the left handle covers on the screen. Right now it covers only this area. So I can't use it over here. It goes to Bixby, all right? So if you wanna expand it, you just go like this. You can position it low or high, or you can make it large, which is gonna take the entire screen, or you can do it small. Now I like to do it like this because what I have over here is my edge screen, so I wanna keep the edge screen separate from the left handle for the one-handed operation plus. So that's the left handle. I'm going to talk about what the long swipe is all about. Let's quickly take a look at the right handle. So when I tap on right handle, now we're looking at this guy right over here, okay? And again, you can expand the size of the right handle, and you can assign all these options to it. So right now the straight left has none assigned to it. So if I go like this, nothing happens, all right? If I tap this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to start application. Let's pick another application. Let me just pick calendar application. Now when I do a straight left, boom, it launches the calendar, all right? Let's go back, and diagonal up, it says none. So let's go back here. Let's just assign something. Let's just say the clock application. So now when I do a diagonal up, it's going to launch the clock application. And you can do the same thing with this one. With this one, I like to have the power key menu. So when I go like this, I can actually turn off the phone without having to press any buttons or go to the notifications panel and tap this button. I can just, boom, swipe it down from the home screen, boom, and I'm right inside my power menu. And again, everything is invisible, all right? So that's the right handle. And again, let's talk about the long swipe. Not only can you assign short swipes, meaning you just go like this real quick, which is gonna launch these, you can also do a long swipe. So let me do it like this. Let's make everything very clean over here. Let's do none and none. So I'm going to keep the power key menu for diagonal down for the short swipe. But for the long swipe, what I'm going to do is let's kill all these guys. None, none. And then I'm going to go over here and I'm going to just go to the task switcher. Task switcher is this thing right here. Okay. So with this one here, if I go like this, it's going to bring up the power menu. But if I do a long swipe, okay, it's going to bring up the task switcher, which in this case looks different. It's the same thing as this one right over here, but you get a different view. Okay, so I can see all the tasks. Oops, that was a short swipe. Let's do a long swipe. Now I can switch between all these applications just as if I was doing it from here. All right, so let's go back inside. That's a long swipe. Now I like to keep it simple, so I just do the short swipe for the right handle and the left handle, and you can do the same thing with the left handle over here. You can do a long swipe and assign all these canned contacts. All right, and you can also remember you can change the transparency of these things right over here. Okay, now this transparency applies to the actual handles. You can actually, if you want to see the handles, you can actually have them right here. You can see the handles, so that's great as well. So let's do the same thing with the right handle so you can get an idea of what I'm talking about. So transparency, boom. So we have one right over here, one right over here, if that's the way you like it. Now let me go back inside that application. You can also do align handles. So when I click align handles, it's going to make sure both handles are the same exact size. So if I change the size, it changes them both. And when I change the position, it changes both of them and their positions. When I go back out, you'll see them both on the corner here. So this kind of customization is absolutely crazy and only available on Samsung smartphones. This just blows my mind away. But that is the one-handed operation plus, one-hand operation plus. By the way, you do have advanced settings. So if I tap on advanced settings, I can even add exceptions. So if I tap on app exceptions, when you are inside one of these applications that I enable, it's going to disable these options. All right, so you can do that for games, because when you're playing games, you're swiping all over the place. You can disable these sidebars so they don't work when you're in certain applications that you want to enable just like that. So you can enable all of these, and then these handles will only work in the home screen. Alrighty, so let's go back here. You have all these advanced settings you can change with. Now the one thing that I like is S Pen gestures are enabled, so I can actually access these one-handed swipes with my S Pen if I have this enabled. So let me pull out the S Pen. So right here, so now I can actually use the S Pen to do the same thing, okay? But if I had this disabled, I would not be able to use the S Pen, as you can see. When I have it enabled, I can use the actual S Pen to perform those operations, as you can see. Another great feature is the fit to keyboard. So if the keyboard pops up and it's large and it takes this entire area, then the handles automatically resize so they don't intrude on your actual keyboard. So that's smart. And then you have all these options: hide in quick panel, hide on lock screen. So that's smart. So when I go like this, when I pull this down, they're not going to be available, as you can see, okay? Because the whole thing is so customizable, so personalizable that you're going to love it.